Baturdays. Baturdays. Omnidog in the Minister of Comics. Talk forever, get right your ergonomics. Taking questions from the chat. With a name like that, you think they talk more about the past. Baturdays. 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 In the BatCave.
Hey now, welcome back. Those of you who've been following me for 24 hours, it's been non-stop streaming here on Omnidog's Vault, bringing you hard-hitting information and guests. And my guest tonight is Taylor Talks Comics. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. Am I the last one of the weekend?
Yeah, I actually had one tomorrow, and it was Super Sundays or whatever we're calling it with Jessica, and I had to say, Jessica, I'm exhausted. We're gonna have to do it on a different.
Well, then you saved the best for last.
You are. Yep. This is my last guest for the. This is my last guest for the Omnidogathon.
I can't take that over Mike Allred though. That I couldn't believe you went 3 hours with him.
I think the only reason we stopped was one, my computer was running out of power, and two, he was having dinner cooked. You could hear the sizzling of the fish he was having that Laura was making, and I said, well, I think he was too polite to say I gotta go.
Yeah.
Because he, every creator, Taylor Brown and I interviewed, every single one was super nice. Couldn't have been nicer. But I don't see how you get to be a nicer guy than Mike Allred is.
Yeah.
I don't know how the world hasn't chewed him up and spit him out. He's so nice. I mean, he's so sweet. The guy, he sent me his phone number so I could text him the link just in case. And I'm like, dude, you really shouldn't be doing this. You don't even know me. But I promise I won't ever text you. But and the stories he told, we only scratched the surface. Freaking Will Eisner and Alex Toth were like his first mentors.
I have to say I haven't had a chance to listen to the whole thing, but don't worry, I will, because he's my all-time favorite artist in comics today. But I got a chance to listen to like 45 minutes of it. I think I started a little bit late and got like 45 minutes or so. And like the 45 minutes I was listening to had nothing to do with comics, but it was so entertaining though. I was like, they haven't even talked about comics yet. And like, I just can't wait to listen to the rest of this.
What were we talking about? We talked about a lot of
dioramas that he makes and the cosplay costumes he makes as a hobby. Like,
yeah. And they're these 1/6 hot toy figures. Yeah. They're not Marvel Legend size. They're these, and I think that because his wife was in the room, he sort of downplayed it, but I have a feeling he went nuts during COVID.
Oh yeah.
Because that's when he just was reeling off all the Star Wars figures and all the Marvel figures that he was getting, and he was building them all into dioramas. And when you think about, he makes films, he makes albums, like music, plays instruments, draws, writes, creates his own dioramas. I should hate him because he's so talented, but he's so nice. He was so great.
Yeah. Just the fact that like he's obviously a remarkable artist, like remarkable. And the fact that he, like, as a hobby does these dioramas, like he does more art outside of his job.
Yeah.
Just to have fun. Like, and I just couldn't help but think, like, the whole time I'm like, we are so blessed to have him, that he chose comics for his career, because at any point, especially in the late 90s, when like comics were like, the boom crashed and like comics were down and stuff, like he could have easily went to Hollywood and done storyboards and made like probably way more money, done character designs and whatnot. Like the way his artwork would be perfect for those two avenues. But he still was like, no, I'm going to keep making comics. Like, that's my thing.
Well, he addresses that a couple times when you watch the whole interview.
Yeah.
How excited. Well, and he said blessed, but how important he felt he could express himself in comics. And he was saying it, and I agree with this. Like it's the ultimate expression of art because you can do almost anything you want with a comic nowadays. And he was just saying how not driven, but how much he loves the area of comics. But in creating all that stuff too, I feel like he probably is driven all the time to create. It sounded like.
Yeah, it sounds like it's just like this madness in his head that he has to get out, like this creativity, like, and he just has to do something. Like if he's not working on an art page, he's got to go make a diorama, or he's got to go make a cosplay. Like he's just constantly got to be creating.
Yeah. Jake says, I posted a short today about him talking about why he loves working in comics so much. Yeah, you posted it on the Brave and Boys channel. Thank you very little.
He stole your content. No, but I saw that though. I was going to say that because Jake was on the interview with you too, and he did a great job. But Jake posted that short, and it's about Mike Allred talking about how it could be just one person making a comic. Like you don't need like movies or TV or anything else. You need help. Like, but on a comic book, it could just be one central person and one person's like vision, and how there's no other visual medium like that. And he's so right.
Yeah. I think that was you saw the exact gist of it then. That was towards the end of the interview. Okay, I will hire you. I see you're leveraging yourself by posting it on your channel first. You rat bastard, you. Okay. He's
giving you the resume.
I give in. You won. Josh really loved that Laura busting on him was the best.
Oh, Laura came in?
We saw her for approximately 2 minutes, which I think is 2 minutes more than she's ever been on a show before.
Oh.
She is extremely camera shy and does not like to do interviews. And I said, whatever you want to do is fine with me. But I did get to talk to her for a while in the pre-show back in the green room. And of course she was lovely, but she was like, no. But she did come in a couple times when people would be talking about her art specifically. I'm sorry. Yeah, her art, her coloring skills. And so she'd come in and to see those. And I think we had her. She was coming back up the stairs from this is great. She left and she said, I probably won't see you when I come back. Nice meeting you. And of course, we were just in hour 2 at that point, another hour to go. So she, we did get her on. Jake, make sure you don't post any of Laura because I don't think she'd like that. The fact that she allows her picture out there is probably the most she likes. So since you've leveraged yourself into my content guide, Jake, please don't post Laura.
Does she ever do conventions with Mike?
Well, that's one thing we talked about at the very beginning. He said, I only have one thing I really want to talk about, and that's the Orlando art exhibition.
Oh, so I came in when I think at the tail end of that conversation.
That's at the 26th. So it's the end of this month. And that's why he wanted to get ahead of it and get on as soon as he could. And he's doing actual promotions for it, by doing things like my show and K-Fabby or whoever that is. No, I'm kidding. Refuse to let him talk about anything past 1990. Why would you limit him?
That's not true. Cycles, I think he's just teasing.
Cycle did say something about is it K-Fabe?
K-Fabe, yeah.
Yeah, he did say something about him limiting what Allred was talking about earlier and like in a non-cycle way, like he really meant it. If you
during the interview he said that?
I think he maybe texted it to me in the Discord.
Because I mean, I don't know. I haven't watched the Kayfabe interview yet either. These are both on my docket to watch. I just haven't had a chance to watch YouTube lately. But I don't know. And maybe they said something like that. But the reason why I think that might not be true is because Cartoonist Kayfabe, they're very much, they cover a lot because it's Ed Piskor and Jim Rugg are the two people that run that, and both cartoonists in their own right. But they both are very much into classic comics. They don't cover a lot of modern comics. Like comics of their peers, they don't really cover too much.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it's just because they don't like go to the comic book shop every week and buy like the latest thing unless it's like Dan Clowes or something. They don't buy like Marvel DC stuff anymore. But they do cover a lot of classic Marvel DC stuff. But the reason why, because they had a Chris Claremont on for an interview, and it was almost like, cringy because just knowing Ed and Jim, they don't watch any of the MCU movies or anything. Like they have no interest in any of that like kind of stuff.
Oh.
And Chris Claremont goes on this diatribe for like 20 minutes about how he would change like the endings to certain MCU movies. And you get to see Ed and Jim like trying to be polite because it's Chris Claremont, and there's like, why, like we don't want to talk about, but like, so I don't know, but they didn't limit him, so I can't imagine them saying like, Mike, don't talk about anything after 1990.
Well, you'll have to watch and you can report back.
Okay, I will.
I don't know what I don't he
and they also
went deep.
Hold on though, because Kayfabe also on their social media posts, they posted pictures of Silver Surfer and Superman Space Age.
Oh well, good.
So I don't think they would have limited it though.
Okay. All right. So Cycle, are you messing with me?
I think he's messing with you.
Yeah. He okay, Josh, I don't like Taylor here. He's trying to take my money and he's good at it. We have 2 people on today that are good at taking your money, Josh, and we are going to take your money because we're going to be, there we go, big celebration.
I haven't done this yet. I saw that was another part of the interview I saw was Mike Allred. That's like, this is so wholesome. This is like wholesome content. I don't think it's working for me.
Do you let me take that down. Do you have a Mac? Yeah,
I'm on a MacBook Air.
Do you have the green camera light on up on top?
I don't know what that is.
Go to where the upper left where your time is. Sorry, upper right. Go to the upper right where your time is.
Yeah.
And then follow it over straight over towards the camera light. Is there a green camera?
That's
Is there a green camera there? As you follow it over past, Bluetooth and Dropbox or whatever you have. For some reason, I have Adobe there.
I don't have any buttons for it.
You don't have a green camera icon up there?
No. I'm also colorblind, so that could be a problem.
Well, do you have any camera icon there?
I don't see any camera icons now.
Okay, I think you just need to update your OS.
Oh,
because it's brand new with the new OS.
Okay.
And that's why
Mike Allred's also colorblind, though.
We talked about that.
I was gonna say, do you talk about that? Because I know I think that's how Laura started coloring, wasn't it?
Right. We didn't. We didn't talk about that. There we go. Yay! We talked about that. We talked about everything, dude. I mean,
I can't wait to listen or watch it.
It was so good, and I people have remarked how giddy I was, and I was, and I mean, I've interviewed Greg Rucka and Cy Spurrier and Ram V, and like 15 Mark Wade, 15 other creators besides that who I worship too. But there's something about Mike Allred that just scratches that itch somewhere in my brain that just makes me go, I love everything, and I go crazy.
I think I feel this a little bit too, but for you personally, I could see all of his like vibe of all of his artwork and stuff is just made for like Jess Bragg. Like that's like his stuff is like just clearly like stuff that you would dig. It's like fun comics. It's bright colored, poppy. It's got the pop art to it. The Silver Age flair, like
and
then that's how his personality is. Like he's that kind of guy. Like he just comes off so endearing, which I think he's kind of said he's kind of camera shy too himself. And I don't know if he's just joking or not, because I think I saw him.
He is.
Because the kayfabe guys were talking, like trying to get him on the show for a long time, and he kept kind of, because he would like comment on their stuff sometimes, and he would just joke like, I don't know, I'm a little camera shy, or I don't know how it'd come off on interviews, and
he would say he's technology deficient and stuff. They bought a new Mac just to promote this OAX, I think, and this I think these are the first, I believe, because he also I feel like he said something to the effect of that he generally doesn't do things because they take away from time that he could be creating.
Yeah.
But he believes in this OAX so much that he really wanted to promote it. And I think they bought a new laptop. I don't know. I don't even know that he had a computer in the house other than Laura's computer that she colors on, and that's like a flatbed color screen something or other that I couldn't even wrap my head around. But I think well, no, he did have Instagram, so I know he uses his phone.
I mean, that's gonna be a testament of how much he cares about this expo, because he didn't do a round of interviews when like the Madman libraries were coming out or when Superman Space Age was coming out. He's not doing this round of interviews for the Batman series coming out soon. Like he's doing it, sounds like, for this reason.
Yeah, he was pretty passionate about it. And here's the thing that I really loved about him was that he was so excited to see fans and sign anything fans wanted, because to paraphrase him, he's like, you guys are the reason I have my job. You give Laura and I our jobs, and if it weren't for you guys, we wouldn't be doing this. And he was really passionate about not only the expo itself and the chance to meet with and have things signed, and there were all kinds of packages, meet and greets with Adam Hughes and Sean Gordon Murphy, and 20 other great artists, but he was very passionate about explicitly saying, I will never not sign something at that expo. If you catch me on the street, give me a book and I'll sign it as I'm on my way to Disney World or whatever. He was very humble and excited and grateful. That's what it is. He was grateful for all the fans. And I know creators feel that way, but he was the first one I ever heard come out and just flat out say that.
Yeah. No, that's like, he comes off as a fan when he's on the interview. Like it sounded like you were talking to just like another YouTuber, like comic book fan. He just has that, like, I don't know how he's kept that. I guess it's kind of like what you said, like, how's the industry not chewed you up and spit you out? Like he's kept that kind of like jovial, like fan spirit about him, I guess, throughout his whole career now.
Yeah. And all the people that he's met and all the friends that he has he couldn't stop raving about how every single friend and every single person he's met in the industry hasn't been super friendly and super helpful to him. He has a virtual circle of, it sounds like, 150 friends that all love him and want to help him. And I think Josh pointed it out to me that you can tell how well liked he is by all the pinups that artists do for him.
I was literally going to say that just now. That's literally going to be my next point.
We're vibing already.
I know, because like in the library editions, you just at the end, I love how they map that out too. Those library editions. Sorry, I was loud noise that happens in my house. Those library editions, I like how they mapped them out with these pinups, because like you get to the end of an issue and it's almost exciting to they could have just put all those pinups at the back. But I love that they're like in between each issue. So like at the end of the issue, you see like, oh, Jack Kirby did a pinup, Frank Miller, Jeff Darrow. Like it's always like amazing the list of people that he did pinups with. You could make a whole book of just the pinups.
Well, actually, I think he does have that book. I think that Madman celebration of 25 years, which is a big oversized thing, is like 200 pinups.
Okay, I know he came out with a like a baseball trading card set of all the pinups before, like they're like baseball sized cards. I think that came out in the 90s, but
in the 90s,
yeah,
these came with 3D glasses. I have 3D cards from Kickstarter.
Those are cool.
Yeah.
What was the Kickstarter for? Just those, or?
Yeah, it's full of these 3D 3D cards.
That box is so cool too.
Yeah, and it's signed by Mike and Laura, but the thing that's cool is it also came with the glasses, which is boss. And I also told him, he doesn't know, he has nothing to do with Kickstarter except approving what the project is. He said, And I said, yeah, I can't wait to get my action figures. And he's like, oh, yeah, those action figures. I'm like, you had nothing to do with those? And he said, just approvals. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's where the last lunchbox was at. Was on Kickstarter, I think. I know. I almost got that too. I was punching myself. But the action figures are the one he's talking about, like the line that has like the goon in it also. And
I'd have to go to Kickstarter to find out.
okay, because there's some sort of line of like comic, like creator owned action figures, and there's the goon, Madman. I'm trying to think of who else is in this line.
It's been about 2
Mr.
years.
Monster, I think.
Oh, I feel like it was a 2021 thing. So it's been a while, but I've been getting updates. So I know that it's on the up and up. It's not like they're going to rip me off.
Yeah, this is like a newer thing than that. I mean, it could be the same. Let me see here. It's Super Punch action figures. Oh, the tick is in here. Let me share my screen real fast.
Yeah, this is on Kickstarter?
No, this is like this is from superpunch.net.
Oh, I don't know. Mine's a Kickstarter of just Madman figures.
That's what they're called. They're called Long Box Heroes.
I wonder if it is the same thing. All right, now I have to go back to Safari.
Well, no, I found it. If you want me to,
you found the Kickstarter?
No, I found. Oh, sorry. No, I found the Big Bad Toy Store link of these figures.
Oh, and Big Bad Toy Store is where the lunchbox is. You can still get the lunchbox, but I wanted the comic that came in it, and I think that's what you said was the last thing, or you mentioned the comic anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Kickstarter. Yeah. Okay, show me. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Say projects, blah, blah, blah. Mike Allred's Madman Atomic. There we go. Oh, you can pre-order them. Last updated in 2023. So you can still order them. I can share this screen from, it's from Christopher Irving, who does the lunch boxes. Let me share this in case anybody wants to. Oh, you have, okay, wait. Let me share this first. That looks cool.
So here's the whole lineup. It's got Mage is back there. Not Mage, sorry, Grindel.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Monster, the Tick. Who else is in here? Oh, here's the close-up images.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Mr. Monster?
Mr. Monster. Okay, I remember him.
Grindel.
Yeah, I remember reading Grendel in the 90s.
Madman.
Uh-huh.
Hack and Slash.
Oh, that's who that is. Okay.
Airboy. Oh, I've not read that. Who does that series?
Was that by James Robinson? No. He did it. He did something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
Maybe the
on,
chat knows.
This is on Big Bad Toy Store, and it's $150 for the whole set. But I think they have them all individually too.
Oh, okay.
But
okay, now I will show you what I saw on the Kickstarter. And that's this. So there's a button that says pre-order, but I already have a Madman action figure, but I was excited for It Girl and Mad Woman.
Ooh.
So Christopher Irving's very well respected, and I know it's taken a long time, but it takes a while to make stuff. So as long as you just keep updating people, nobody's going to get upset. So these are coming at some point. Man,
the whole line of Atomics would be sweet too.
Oh, maybe that's something that'll happen.
I've always wanted the Ecstatics done like as close to the Mike Allred type art style as possible, like Marvel Legends. Because sometimes Marvel Legends, they change like what the characters look like a little bit. Like I want it to look just like it came out of the comic of Ecstatics.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, I think everybody wants a dupe figure.
Oh, speaking of dupe, did you see? I've been meaning to show you this on Free Comic Book Day. There's like a limited of like 1,000 dupe stuffed animals that they're making.
Oh, Taylor.
What?
Where do I find it and how much is it?
I think they're only like $20 or $30. Like it's not overly priced, but they're so limited.
They're so limited.
I don't know how. Like, because I asked a couple comic book shop owners that I know. I'm like, how do you get me one of these? Because I didn't want to tell anybody about it. I would have told you because we're friends, but I didn't want to tell anybody because I was like, I want to make sure I get my hands on one of these. I think they're only like 12 inches too, and it's like a dupe stuffed animal. And they're like, I asked a couple comic shop owners. They're like, well, they're so limited. They're probably only going to go to like the biggest, because it's through Diamond. I think they're only going to go to the biggest comic book shops that like buy the most product from them, probably.
Okay,
like, dang it.
I will do some research for us.
Wait, you have access to a bigger comic book shop, don't you?
Yes, I do. I'm friends with the owner.
If you can get me a dupe,
I'll
be internally grateful.
I will get you a dupe before I get me a dupe. So I will see what doop-de-doop-de-doo I can get done. I will. Okay, wait. No, I will make a note right now.
I'll send you a link while we're at it too through text.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, dupe. Oh, Max is gonna be mad if I get you a dupe and not him. He's dupe crazy.
It's from Bleacher Creatures. Are you familiar with those stuffed animals?
No.
They make like a lot of like the NFL guys and stuff. Like if you ever see like the big heads and like stuffed animals. I have some. Oh. They're in a box somewhere. I just text you the dupe thing though.
Yeah.
They don't have cool. They just have like the design image. They don't have like the actual thing. It's 8 inches, I guess.
Okay. It's like
limited to 1,500. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Do hire me, blah 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 doop doop doop. There's Lars, one of my most wanted collections, which is what we're going to talk about tonight. That will never happen. Oh, are the collections of Marvel's anthology series, Epic Illustrated? I have a few of those. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, you're better off trying to collect those. You can find those for pretty cheap too at secondary on the second market. Like I don't think a lot of those are outrageously expensive, like back issues of those. But yeah, those are all creator owned, so those won't ever be collected.
Okay. She was off camera telling him to tell the truth. Oh, okay. I'm only here as Taylor said he loves Dynamite Comics. I also love Dynamite Comics. Oh, here's Ken. Kane was referring to Kenny Jr. Jensen does a very good job of voicing Batman. He's right up there. Kane, I hope you're feeling better. The fact that you're here, I think, means you probably are feeling a little bit better. Kenny, let's see what Kenny's a fellow Superman fan. All the post-death and return of Superman stories. Yes, I agree with that. We need that. The entire Jeff Johns Superman, including the new Krypton saga. You're darn right. The remaining Superman, Dan Jurgens, Jerry Ordway issues they worked on. You're 100% right, Kenny, especially on that new Krypton. That really needs to be collected.
I don't know that there's a bigger Superman fan on the internet than Kenny. He's like,
he goes even beyond me. He
loves all day. He's
family.
Like, yeah, all day on social media, he's like posting different like Superman like articles from the back in the day or videos and stuff, and it's great. I love his I love following him because like some of the articles he posts, I'm like they're super interesting. But yeah, he loves Superman.
He was way active this week. I must have clicked on 6 different things that he posted.
Yeah.
KFAB's MO is to talk about older stuff and not promoting anything newer that isn't their own stuff. It's kind of a meme about them, but basically true. Okay.
I have a feeling a lot of that is to do with the fact that they have a lot of peers, like they're active cartoonists. So I think they're like, they don't want to be critical of their peers. I feel like a little bit. So I don't know, but yeah, they definitely don't. And also they don't read a lot of modern comics, I think is part of it.
Okay. The cartoonist KFAB interview was more focused. Well, we were unfocused and we talked about anything and everything we wanted. Oh, we have somebody from Rio de Janeiro. Good night, guys. I'm from Brazil. I live in Rio de Janeiro and I love comics.
Hey,
welcome, buddy. Glad to have you. I don't think I had, I feel like I had maybe one Brazilian viewer a couple of years ago, but you are now my favorite Brazilian viewer. Thank you. Let's see. Oh yeah, you need the new update for your computer. Enough about KFAB. I don't even want to talk about KFAB because I'm Omnidog, man. Hey, Reap. Hi, Justin Taylor. What are your most wanted silver and bronze age collections that are unreleased? Well, you came to the right place to ask that question.
Yeah. Bronze Age for sure is the Legion of Superheroes. The content that's in the DC Archives volumes 10 through 12.
Ah, okay. Well, that's pretty specific.
I know, because the 3 Silver Age Legion of Superhero omnibuses fill up volumes 1 through 9 of those archives, and then 10 through 12's never been collected other than those archives, and those go for like hundreds of dollars a piece.
Yeah.
And then directly after that is the Before the Darkness hardcovers. So like,
okay, I would be interested in that.
Literally it's just one gap.
Yeah,
we have 4 hardcovers that follow that gap, and then we have 3 omnibuses that are before it. So we'd have this huge line of Legion of Superheroes like that's never been, or all that's in succession. Like, so it's just that one gap. That's my first Bronze Age one. I think it would be Bronze Age technically.
I think you're right, because I remember when I was reading Legion of Superheroes, it had gone from that Kurt Swanish type art, and then it finished up with like modern. It was more modern.
I think
and I still dug it. It was, this kind of stuff, and this is when I was still digging Legion of Superheroes, and this was Action Comics 392. It looks like when they were anything Princess Projectra is cool with me, and Saturn Girl.
And I want to say during that period of that missing gap that I'm talking about, I think Jim Shooter comes back for a little bit.
Oh, let's see. Oh, in the 10 through 12.
Yeah, I think so. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a Legion of Superheroes expert, but I think that's the case. Did he ask for DC in particular? No, he didn't. Okay.
No, I think you can say whatever you want.
I'm with Geo. I would like an Inhumans omnibus.
I would too. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of DC, because DC is pretty well collected.
I really feel like, and I'm not trying to be funny here, but at the rate they're putting out, I mean, we're going to get to, I feel like you and I are both going to say we have one book in particular that we both want, that we're looking forward to, and that's Superman Silver Age Volume 1.
For sure.
But I'm not trying to be grim. I'm not trying to bring the show down, but I'm going to be freaking 65 in March. I need them to get on this so they can get to the 68 to 74 period that I really care about for Batman and Superman, when those comics really jumped from kids stuff to more grown-up kind of comics, with the introduction of Ra's al Ghul. Even though I saw a little clip of Scott Dunbar calling him Ra's al Ghul, like I always did. And I will circle back to Scott Dunbar towards the end, because that's another thing that I just found out about that I can't wait to get. Blah, 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 68 to 74. They need to start pumping these things out, or I'm going to be 75 if I'm lucky before they get to that period. So
we've talked about this before. I don't understand why they don't do why from the beginning they didn't do like Volume 1 Golden Age Superman, Volume 1 Silver Age Superman, Volume 1 Bronze Age Superman, and then go to like every year they release like 3 Volume 1s and then Volume 2s, and like so it's like the Silver Age crowd, the Golden Age crowd, and the Bronze Age crowd are all appeased, rather than go from like the very beginning to the very end. Like it's
Omnidog doesn't know how long he's gonna before he shakes this mortal coil, and I want to read that stuff again because I sold it all, and now I want to. And so
with the original coloring, not the Neil Adams coloring,
the original inking, not the re-inking.
Yes.
So yeah. Oh. I could, that one was when we were talking about The Prisoner.
Oh,
We're talking about how far behind am I? Oh, only half an hour. Okay. Reaper has been enjoying your recent content bursts, Taylor.
thank you. I would like to say too, well, to your audience, well, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But I've been going live once a week. It's called Taylor Talks Comics Live, typically on Tuesdays at noon Eastern, and I go over all the comic book industry news. And I'm gonna have some guests on there. I think hopefully I'm trying to line up some interviews because my goal is I've always wanted this show to exist. Like I watch MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani because I'm also into MMA, but he has this great show where like it's like a 4-hour show. Mine won't be this long, but he has like all these MMA fighters on there, but also goes over the news and just like this nice chunk of like the news for the week.
Okay.
All with guests. So I was like, why isn't there a comic book version of that? So on Taylor Talks Comics Live, I want to have like this block of like 2 hours where I go over the news and then I have like a couple interviews on for like just 20-minute interviews, short and sweet, just talk about their next project or whatever.
Nice.
So that's my goal. I haven't had any interviews yet. I'm lining those up right now, but regardless, I have been going live. Tuesdays at noon is typically the time. You guys watch them on replays.
Eastern time?
Noon Eastern time.
Okay.
And you guys go to the live tab and watch them on replay if you can't make it to that time. But it's been a lot of fun. So thank you, Reaper. I appreciate that.
CCXP here in Brazil is as big as San Diego Comic-Con.
There is a surge right now of Brazilian artists and cartoonists that are like coming on up. Like it's been happening, it's been percolating for a few years now, but now it seems like there's like it's launching into this big thing. Like most recently, and I'm almost certain he's Brazilian, but the he just did a Batman series. Rafael Grampa.
Oh,
He did
okay.
he's doing a Batman series now. He recently did the Dark Knight Returns, one of those series with Frank Miller. He's an amazing artist, so he's like on the up and up right now. And then Fan and Graphics has this Brazilian cartoonist anthology coming out later this year. And it's gonna have like chock full of all these great. There's all the interior arts samples of it, a bunch of great artists in there. So I'd be curious to know if I don't know who the reviewer or the commenter was just now. Profney. Are there any like Brazilian cartoonists or artists that you're a big fan of that you want to give us like the tip on who we should be following?
I'll try and yeah, this was interesting. It was interesting how Mike thinks he might not come across well, given the fact that he was a broadcaster. Yeah,
absolutely. I was surprised to hear. Like, I assumed he would have liked Star Wars. Like, he seems like a guy that likes Star Wars. But I was surprised to see what extent he loves Star Wars. Like that he's like cosplaying all these costumes and stuff
that he made himself,
making all his dioramas. And it shocked me. I was like, why hasn't he had a big Star Wars series then? Like that seems like an obvious thing. Like I wonder if it's just like a property that he has so much like love for that he doesn't want to even touch it. Like he doesn't feel like he's worthy or something silly. Obviously he is, but I don't know if that's like a personal thing with him. Did he touch on that at all?
He named his. You'll see that he named his son Han.
Yeah, I saw that.
Han's grown up and has a son that's in college, and his name's Anakin. And
yeah, I saw that piece, and I was like, which I was surprised that I was like, Mike, you have a grandson that's college aged. Like,
they got married very young, and I think they just beat the odds. I don't, young marriage in general, you only have a 50% shot of staying together, but young marriages, and they've been together longer than I've been married. They've been she corrected him last night. I think they've been together since late 1980. So 40, it'll be 44 years this year, 43 years.
A young marriage, and also they work directly together. So
yeah, we covered that. I wanted Laura's input on that, but she said he can talk about it better than I can. But you see them interact together, and yeah, she teases him and stuff. And of course, husbands or wives do that. I just think they're those kind of soulmates out there that just found each other early, and not only can they work together, but they can't imagine living without each other. So she has her own I think the secret is that they both keep different hours. He said he's a night owl. He works through the night. And she colors during the day, and they meet for their meals. And so I think he kind of sleeps during the day. He said he was like a vampire. So, and they have their own separate studios that they built. And she feels she has the cooler studio, even though he has a built-in home theater in his as his office.
I thought you were gonna say the BatCave from the 60s Batman show. That thing looked amazing.
I don't know where that is in that house. Yeah, I don't know. It was just so impressive sounding, but they had a like fancy people have that huge bitchin' screen with rows of chairs in their house to watch movies. That's his office, and in the very back of that is where he draws, and he watches like Turner Classic Movies all day or all night on that big giant screen. Pinups. I can't wait for. Okay, this is a good question. I can't wait for Madman Library Edition Volume 6. Is it true it will contain some pre-Madman material of some sort? This is true, and he addressed that with me. It's his earliest stuff. One of the things is called graphic music. It's his earlier stuff. I have a feeling that Volume 6 is going to be more for kind of the completionist out there like me. He said he never wanted it to see the light of day again because it's his early work, but he submitted it to Laura to color, and it went through a whole thing where she colored his older work. You saw some of his older work in Volume 5. It leads off it leads off Volume 5. So the first thing he had, and I think that's what he showed Will Eisner, he said. And I think that's sort of why there was a question if there was going to be a Volume 6. We heard 6, then we heard 5, and then we heard 6 definitely. I think he was kind of just making up his mind. Okay, fine. I'm just going to put this stuff out there. He was very reluctant to do that. So it's going to be it's going to be a big chunk. Watch the interview because I don't remember. Maybe Jake remembers or somebody else that was watching.
I think it's going to have X-Ray Robot in it too, right?
Oh, yeah. Which is great. I just read that.
That's his most recent creator-owned series, I think, right? Like it came out like 4 or 5 years ago, but I think that's his most recent creator-owned series.
I think so.
Yeah. Which he always teases too, though. He's like, there's going to be 6 volumes for now. I don't know if he has another 500-600 pages of creator-owned comics in him. I mean, he's still a young guy, so maybe.
But thank you for saying that. He's only 2 years younger than I am.
No, yeah. I mean, you both have a lot of years left in you.
Thank you.
But I hope. I mean, it would be cool to have a Volume 7 from him.
Yeah.
But he seems to be doing so many licensed comics lately. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Which I love. It's hard for me because I'm like, everything he does is good. So whatever his ambitions or his interests go, it seems like he wavers wherever he's like, oh yeah, that sounds interesting. I'll do that. Which is fine by me, but
Larry, how you doing? I'm reading the iZombie Omnibus Kristen gave me for Christmas right now. Happy to say I love it. Oh, that's good to hear. The art is terrific, and the story has addressed all the problems I had with the zombie lore ideas. I love iZombie.
There's a issue in there, a fill-in issue by Jim Rugg, and he's talked on the aforementioned Kayfabe channel about how he normally colors his own work, and in that issue, the Laura colors his work, and he talks about how like it was so different to have another colorist work on his stuff, but it was like a pleasure to work with Laura, because I think they kept Laura on coloring even with the fill-in issues just to be sure that there's like a consistency to it.
Oh, okay. Let's see. It's not listed. Oh, this looks very much like not Allred art. So
there's a few fill-in issues because I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mix it up. Whose style is this? Because they don't list it in the table of contents. Does this look like Jim Rugg?
No, I think it is.
Okay.
Is it not? I thought there was a table of contents in this thing.
Well, there is, but they don't list who the creators are.
Oh, Gilbert Hernandez does issue 12.
Oh yeah, that okay.
Jay Stevens
Wait.
has issue 18.
Where's that?
It's on the table of contents.
What the?
Do I have a different printing than you?
Oh, that's the table of contents is.
Well, no,
next.
sorry, the credit
Okay.
page.
The credit page. Okay, go for it.
Wait, I have a table of contents too.
Yeah, me too. I just
okay.
didn't see that page that you were looking at that had the alternate
Okay.
artists.
So 279, page 279 has Gilbert Hernandez artwork.
279. Okay. 279. Oh yeah, this Harriet the Happy Ghost. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, here this is definitely, you can tell from a mile away.
Yeah. And then page 411 has Jay Stevens, which have you ever read any Jay Stevens comics?
I don't think I have.
I have comics that are right up your alley and they're being collected this year. I can talk about them. I'll find the collected edition.
There you go, Josh. He's selling me on more.
So I'm going to write that down so I don't forget to tell you about that.
Okay, thank you.
And then Jim Rugdo's issue 24. So that is page
Lunchbox Heroes things. Thank you,
43.
James.
Yeah, this is definitely Jim Rugg art.
Oh, Chuck Dixon did Airboy. James Robinson did an Airboy mini at Image. That's what I have. That's what I was thinking of. Thank you.
Yeah, so page 543 is Jim Rugg's. But
okay. I am happy I got in with these Madman Library. A little shocked they went this route since they do a ton of paperbacks. Here's Jaggernaut. Hello, Jez. Hello, Taylor. Ordered Madman Library Volume 1 today, hoping for a complete set. Awesome. And here's where you can find your dupe plush to look at.
Oh no, who posted that? Was it James Abel? James, stop sharing that with people.
Yeah, he posted it twice. Superman, this is what Mr. Awesome wants or suggests. Panic in the Sky, bridging the gap between exile and death returns. Kane, I have ups and downs. The morning was terrible. I'm feeling well enough to participate. Are you sure you just have a cold? If you're this sick, is it possible it's something worse that you might want to? Here I am giving advice, and I shouldn't. Should you
Dr. Omnidog here.
Dr. Omnidog. I worry about Kane. She's my cookie buddy, so I want to make sure she's okay. Richard, hi, Omnidog and Taylor. Hope you both are well. And Omnidog, yes. I ordered the Black Cat Omnibus. Can't wait to read it. Yay, we will celebrate. Hey, wee. I think that was easily Mike's favorite thing yesterday.
I know it. There it is.
I'm about to make Jess happy. I watched all the Superman animated, Justice League, and working on Justice League Unlimited. I think this might be the year to check out Boy Blue.
I would love to have a Justice or a Superman animated series omnibus like they did Batman. Scott McCloud writes a lot of those early issues of that.
Oh, okay.
I want to say Evan Dorkin might write a few of them too, because Evan Dorkin wrote a few of those episodes of that series.
Oh, okay.
Animated series. Him and his wife. What's his wife's name? Sarah Dwyer.
Oh, yeah.
They like co-wrote them.
Okay, there's another couple that works together.
Yes, and never mind. I was gonna say she does all the coloring for Evan. I don't know if Evan's colorblind though. You know what? I think Pete Baggs' wife doesn't she do his coloring also?
And isn't Frank Miller married to Lynn Varley that does his coloring?
Are they still married?
Oh, I don't know that.
They were married at one point. I mean, they could still be married. I'll look, but yes, she also does his coloring.
I want my absolute Grasshopper Gang versus Batman. No, you do not. That was the pretty much low point of the Batman 66 era, as it's called now. Sorry, Miller and Varley were married from 86 to 2005. Okay, they gave it a good run.
I feel like they might have still worked together after that, though. I don't know.
Okay. I've heard a lot of people talking about this book, The Ultimate
This is
Spider-Man
yeah.
one by Hickman. Yeah.
This has been I don't remember a big 2 comic or maybe a comic period getting as much hype, like a single issue comic getting as much hype except like since Hoxpox 1 or whatever the first issue of that was.
Yeah.
So Hickman,
yeah, I think you're right.
He's doing things which I love. I love that comic book shops are all selling out of this one single issue. It's great for the industry.
It really is. Mr. Awesome asked a good question. Just how's your Batman, the animated series, Batman Beyond watching coming along? Any progress? I have made progress. I'm in the 3rd season. I am going to somehow I want to finish. I want to finish soon. And this gives me the opportunity to say the Minister of Comics has told me that he needs to take a sabbatical from Baturdays. So I will be getting like a revolving cast of hosts, whoever can help me on Baturdays, because the minister needs a few months. He's extremely happy in his personal life and his professional life. But he's just way too busy now with 2 toddlers, and his wife has a new job. So the minister will be taking an extended sabbatical. And when he comes back, then we will talk about the animated series. I couldn't do that with anybody but the minister. And it's all peace and love between me and the minister. I wish we are almost best friends. He called me every day in the hospital when I had pancreatitis in 2019. The guy's a lovely guy. But he just needs to take a break. So I will definitely, the door's always open for him. Richard asks, Omnidog and Taylor, do either of you have the 80 Years Batman, Superman slipcase deluxe hardcover?
Is that slipcase just collect the hardcovers of the 80 Years of Batman and 80 Years of Superman? Is it like just those 2 books in a slipcase?
Oh, I don't have. I think I have. I know I have 80 Years of Batman because I just saw it yesterday. I'm not sure I have 80 Years of Superman, which makes me a fake Superman fan.
Yeah, I told you Kenny was a bigger fan than you.
Oh, I wouldn't even. I'm not even in the same ballpark with Kenny. Here's a question for you.
Yes.
I did not even know who that was, so I'm glad you can. Whoa! So what's the story behind Voltron?
You don't know Voltron?
I know he's a Transformer.
No, he's not a Transformer. He's his own show.
Oh, he's his own show. Is he
Yeah.
Does he transform?
Well, he's more like Power Rangers. It's probably closer to Power Rangers.
Oh, he's not even a Transformer. He's Voltron.
Yeah, he's Voltron. He predates.
Okay.
He predates Power Rangers. Maybe I don't know. Someone can tell me. Regardless, he's got these 5 lions that are all their own thing, and then they all join together to make Voltron, which is this giant robot.
Oh.
And this toy comes apart. Like all the lions come separately, and they can be their own thing. I don't know if he talks anymore though. This is actually my son's toy. I stole it from him because we both watched the new Voltron series on Netflix. I mean, new as of like 4 or 5 years ago, and we loved it. So we both it's like our thing, Voltron. But
and Larry just nudged me to remind everybody, book club is starting back up, and we're gonna have it on the 28th, the last Sunday of January. It will be at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the book is Sergeant Rock and the Army of the Dead. Wait, Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead.
Written by Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, with art by Eduardo Riso.
Wow, yes,
that's amazing.
Francisco Francavilla did a lot of the variant covers for those, and they were awesome.
I heard that book is just a blast, so I ordered it, and I said, Larry, let's do it. So we are doing it. Okay, Taylor, what's the red and white box behind your left shoulder? Cycle Cleveland thinks he knows.
Yeah,
is that what it is?
The Love and Rockets first 50 issues in one box set.
Nice.
I did an overview for that box set Books channel, which I think Omnidog has a promo code for.
Oh. Thank you.
But if
We're
you go
getting
on,
Facebook's code Omnidog, 5% off shipping 4 or more books together with Omnidog set. Thank you, buddy.
yeah. But if you go on the Organic Price Books YouTube channel or just look up Organic Price Books Love and Rockets box set, I do the overview for it on there. It collects like facsimile editions of all the first 50 issues. Like all the ads are in there. Like it's got glossy covers, but matte interiors. So it's like the first 50 issues of Love and Rockets.
Nice. Oh, are you going to bring it out? Okay. Here's Taylor Talks Comics YouTube, which is also in my description.
Oh, thanks, James. But it's collects 8 hardcovers.
Wow. That is a boss box set.
Yeah.
That is one of my regrets, that I've tried so hard to get into that series and it just never clicked with me. I totally get how they transformed comics. I give them nothing but credit for it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just hasn't done it for me. And I really regret that.
I'm really surprised, to be honest, because you love Strangers in Paradise, which was obviously like influenced by Love and Rockets.
Mm-hmm.
And also it's so chock full of things that you love, like sci-fi, like old classic sci-fi and punk rock, and
maybe
things.
Maybe I just haven't read it in the right order.
I will say, so when I got this box set last year, this was the first time I read the issues like this. I'd read the old paperbacks, which I don't know if you have those or not. They're like the Fantagraphics collected like paperbacks of them. And the way they organize those is where they organize them by artists, because it's Jaime and Gilbert Hernandez and sometimes Mario, their third brother. So those paperbacks collect like all the Jaime stories in one paperback, and the next paperback will be all Gilbert's and kind of back and forth. The single issues though were half and half. So like it'll be like Jaime does the cover, and then Gilbert does like the first 28 pages, and then Jaime will do like the last 12 pages and the back cover. Like they'll kind of alternate like that. And they both tell completely different stories. So Jaime's stories are set in Locas, which is like it's a fictional town, but it's based off of Oxnard, California, where they grew up. It's all revolving around these teenagers, early 20s, in like the punk scene. Like they go to shows and they just like go about their days and whatnot. And the characters age in real time. So like they start off in like their teens, early 20s, and then they age in real time. So they're all getting older. Like the comic's still being written today. And then Gilbert's stories are in Palomar, which is a fictional town in Mexico, and that's all kind of like a telenovela, like a Spanish soap opera a little bit, but like it's this really small town, so everyone knows everyone and everyone's connected to each other. So like you'll see characters pop up in issues, interacting with each other. So their stories are completely separate. So it was kind of more enjoyable to read them in this way, because then you're getting like a little bit of Jaime stories, a little bit of Gilbert stories, and then you get to the next issue rather than read them all in like one chunk like that. With that said, this box set's really expensive, so I don't know if I would advise you like, Jess, go buy this box set. And
that would make Josh happy. Everything you just said sounds interesting to me. Why? I just don't understand why I haven't been able to get into it.
I will say the first few issues too, because these guys were only like 18, 19 when they're doing these first few issues, which is mind blowing when you look at the art. Like the art is like, especially Jaime, like he is like all of your favorite artists in comics favorite artist. Like he's like that good. They just have always stayed underground, which is kind of like part of their punk rock, ethos. Like I'm sure they could have gone to Marvel and DC if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But like their artwork is so like established right away, but the storytelling, they're still trying to get the ground, their feet underneath them. Like especially like Jaime's stories have a lot of like sci-fi aspects to it in the very, very beginning, and then like that kind of goes away to where it's just really just about the characters, and it's like more realistic eventually and stuff. So those first few issues can be kind of hard to get into, because it's kind of like they're kind of just like exploding with ideas, trying to get all their ideas out on the page before they started to like rein it in and make it like a really cohesive story. So I hate to say like get through the first X amount of issues before you really enjoy it, but I think the box set's been the most enjoyable way to read them. But
it must be that I like pulled a Love and Rockets collected issue or something and just read it, and maybe I was in the middle of a story or something that I that's like trying to pick up X-Men in the middle of a story. You're
Right.
just not, if you're not there from the beginning of the arc, you're not going to get into it. So, I mean, I'm always willing to give that another try. I don't I don't even know if that thing's still in print.
I don't know if the cover price is $400 though, I will say.
Oh, well, my wife's going to tell you right now it's not in print. Love and
I don't think OPB has it anymore. OPB lost a lot of them too. Remember? Did you hear about their? I think it was a flood or
flood. Yeah,
like they lost a lot of those box sets during that, and I was like,
oh God, that's what they lost.
A lot of stuff, but that was part of it, and I was crying inside for JP.
Oh wow, yeah. Of course, now that it's sold out, I really want it because I'm me.
I'm trying to see if it's available anywhere else.
Please, Jess. We're all waiting on Omar to retire so you can take over NMC. You'll outlive us all.
It's out of stock there.
Jess, you're going to be around to at least 100. Don't worry, Mary. I've seen what 100 looks like.
Have you seen Dick Van Dyke lately?
I think I just saw a clip of him.
They had like a big celebration for him, I think. But he's 90. He's 98 years old. But that guy, like, I mean, he's still. You could tell he's old, but he's moving around. Like I've never seen
got it all.
I've never seen a 98-year-old move around like him. Like he still needs like a little bit of assistance when he's walking and stuff. But like
But he's still got all the knowledge in his head, and he's able. I mean, he was able to. He went off on a political thing that I don't get into anything political, but it showed me that he has opinions on current events that are well thought out, and that's remarkable for a 98-year-old.
I'd like to know what his diet and exercise regimen is, because I'd like to copy it. So on the competitor's website that begins with an I.
Yes.
There's 3 letters. That box set's available for $280 right now. So it's still steep, but it's not $400.
Love and rockets. And no, I don't do this when I'm alone. I only do it when I'm on the air.
What's that? Looking for things?
Talk out loud while
I talk to myself all the time when I'm doing things.
I see an awful lot of. I do see that box set. I see. Oh, I see Red Rocket, Raccoon, and Groot. I should get the Civil War II. No, I'm not going to get that. Yeah, there's a lot of Love and Rocket stuff, but I do see that box set. I don't know. I mean, I could sell enough stuff. I mean, I do have more to sell. I have a huge amount of toys I need to sell, so it's possible that I could get it. Cycle's happy. We successfully distracted Taylor for his first full hour. He got to one topic.
That's true. During my news show, and I was like, and I actually had a lot of news to talk about that day. The last few episodes before that, I was like, oh, I only have like a few things to talk about.
Fans of tangents should tune in. Hey, the minister and I always went on tangents and rarely talked about the topic.
Well, we're over an hour in this show. We haven't even got to the topic yet.
No, so it's on brand. Taylor's weekly videos are good. I watch them after work. Josh is right. Taylor's channel is a hidden gem.
Thank you so much, Keen. I really appreciate that.
I have the Dolphins Chiefs game on the TV and you guys on my phone. Peace and love. That's good.
When do the Rams play this weekend?
Tomorrow night at 8.
Okay.
Yeah. Fourth World, I got thoughts. Where did that come from?
Oh, I think on my show, Josh wants to do a show with me about the Fourth World, which we still need to do. But it was rumored on my show, and I need you to clarify this. There's rumors going around about you. The commenters were raving, and they were spreading stuff about you. That you, Just Bragg, don't like the Fourth World from Jack Kirby.
Bullshit. Wait a second.
Oh, yes.
How dare you? How dare you suggest that when I have
It wasn't me.
right here.
Oh yeah, that one's still sealed though.
Well, I haven't gotten to it yet. This one's open. Yeah, man. I lived through the fourth world. No, I did go through a period that's not a lie. I did go through a period probably around 2016, 2017. Whenever I think let's see, I think there was a fourth world omnibus that came out first that was,
Yeah.
like that thick. And I was like, and I got it, of course. And then I thought, I just don't think I'm going to read this. But then when I saw it in absolute form, because I read it all as a kid. Then when I saw it in absolute form, I thought, I bet I will read that if I get it in absolute, because those are two books that are easier to read than that Herc and Omni. But yeah, it's sort of a lie and sort of not a lie. It's true and not true.
That was
true, and now it's not true.
That was my very first omnibus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I just recently sold it tragically, not because I don't like it, but because I got different versions of it. I have those old, which you sold me the Green Arrow omnibus.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like standard size. The fourth world versions of that. There's like 4 books of them.
Right, those were really rare for a long time.
Yeah, and it's printed on a really nice paper, and it looks really great. But also, those are way easier to read on the go. So I can just throw one of those in my backpack or whatever and bring them rather than a big omnibus. But I always held on to the omnibus because I'm like, that's my first omnibus, but I needed space.
Yeah, I get it. That's good. That's good curating.
Speaking of Jack Kirby, though, you know what I read this week? I read this omnibus. I have 1 issue left. If I wasn't doing this show, I would have finished it already. But I read this all in less than 1 week, and I know you're going to be surprised, but
What? You can't be serious. You read that? Wow.
Jack, this was such a blast. I'm not even kidding you. I was
Get off of this show. How dare you? What are you talking about? That's ridiculous. Nobody can read that.
No, I actually had a friend, Neil, too. He's in a group chat with me. He read it with me, and he got further than I did. I have to say, so I've read a few issues. I love Jack Kirby. He's my all-time favorite artist.
Sure.
Allred's my favorite current artist. So I said that earlier, but all-time it's Jack Kirby. And so I read this, and I've read a few issues here and there in the past, but this is my first time reading all the way through. And I have to say, I've been lied to. Like the Shakespearean type dialogue that I think you always talk about that you don't like. There was not any bit of it in this first omnibus until the very last issue 120, which is like the most recent issue I read. Like Stanley goes hard on it. So I'm assuming going forward, that kind of like theirs, thous, how hath their fury kind of thing. I'm assuming that's going to now pick up as Stanley goes on, because like issue 120, he just goes hard where it's like now everyone's talking different all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But now it's also Jack Kirby's gotten to his like the Thor that like the big blocky, like strong buff Thor. He's gotten to that place, so I think I'm at least gonna be carried through with his artwork.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a blast. I love Jack Kirby like unabashedly, so maybe it's just maybe it's still not everybody's thing. But I'm just gonna say I had so much fun reading this. I read it.
Well, I'm glad. I am 100% sincerely glad you enjoyed reading that.
But I know that you said it's not your thing. I'm not trying to convince you to buy it.
No, but you do have me interested in Love and Rocket, so I will say that you did succeed there. But Journey into Mystery, no.
I need them to reprint the second omnibus, because now I'm at the stage. I have volumes 3 and 4, and I have all the epic collections through. Like I have the first like 200 issues of Thor in some sort of fashion.
Mm-hmm.
But volume 2 omnibus, I have like the second epic collection. That's like the last half of that omnibus. So I'm going to have to read like 10 issues digitally now, which is unfortunate, but one day.
I'm 100% sure that volume will get reprinted.
Once I do my overview of Talks Comics, it's going to set a surge for people right before the omnibus reprint poll, and everyone's going to be on the Thor bandwagon.
Good timing. I might actually watch that overview just to see what you have to say about it.
Oh man, you should. I'll send you a link to it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go I'm gonna be so excited.
Since I lose viewers whenever we talk about the topic, we're going to intersperse the topic.
That's a good idea.
For 2024, the year we are in right now, what are the first 2 books you're looking forward to?
So I think it's gonna be a big DC year for me, especially in terms of omnibuses, because, like, off the top of my head, just when you said that to me, the first thing that came to my mind was definitely the Flash William Messner Loeb's omnibus.
Oh,
which we don't even have the contents for yet. We don't even know what that's going to contain. I hope it's everything. Like, I hope it doesn't like just skip around for like only the Messner Loeb issues.
Well, and I hope he gets all the money he deserves.
Well, that's true. That's true also. Because I think that Savage Velocity thick trade paperback they came out with a few years ago, that I keep keeping my eye on. Those first 20 issues, I think, are written by Mike Barron, I want to say.
I'd have to go in the other room where those are. And
then Messner Loeb starts his. So I don't know. But that's one I'm excited about is Flash. And then the other one, well, you already said Silver Age Superman, so I won't mention that. The Green Lantern Hard Traveling Heroes omnibus, which we don't have the contents for that either.
We don't, and that is on my list too. And I am dying to know how that book gets to 1,100 pages.
I know. I think it's got to collect everything. I think they're not going to skip any issues because they don't have a name attached to that one. It doesn't say Neil Adams, Denny O'Neil, or Denny O'Neil even, because Denny O'Neil did the Neil Adams issues, and then didn't he do the following Space Traveling Heroes? Mike Grell.
But I feel like Denny O'Neil or wait, did Space Traveling Heroes happen in the back of Flash comics? Is that where it continued?
Maybe that's right.
Because I remember that run that got collected, I think, in a deluxe, and that, so to me, there's that stuff, and that's the Denny O'Neil stuff. And then what else is there? I mean, Hard Traveling Heroes, to me, if you're calling the omnibus that's got to be the Denny O'Neil stuff, but it's only like 2 deluxe worth of books. So what's the other 500 pages gonna be?
To me, I feel like it's just gonna be the Bronze Age omnibus. I don't know why they're not calling it the Bronze Age omnibus, because I feel like it's just the direct follow up to the Silver Age. Because like the first issue, I'm assuming will be 76. Is that right?
76 is what starts the Bronze Age. Yeah,
I'm assuming it'll be 76 through whatever 1,100 pages is. I'm hoping that's what it is. But I don't know why they called it that. That's weird. But that's one I'm excited about because last year I read a bunch of Flash. I think I talked about that on your show before. This year the characters I'm following are Green Lantern and Thor. So Green Lantern, I'm diving into the Silver Age stuff. So that when whatever omnibus comes out, hopefully I'm caught up and I have read both those omnibuses ready to go for it. But I'd say those 2 books.
But Space Traveling Heroes weren't even full issues. They were backup stories in Flash.
So did Green Lantern not have his own title at the time?
Didn't. No. After 89 wait. Okay. This is where I dropped off of Green Lantern for a little bit because Mike Grell took over, and it was a young Mike Grell, and I was not pleased with the change. Okay, so Green Lantern, I don't know, you should probably look it up. Maybe it was 90 through 112 or something. Maybe GL kept going. But then it became a backup to Flash.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking up right now.
Okay.
So yeah, even though it was the O'Neil Adams run was not a commercial success and was canceled after 14 issues, which is a travesty.
I broke my little 13-year-old heart.
Oh, so their run finished out in the Flash backups. It says their last 3 unpublished installments were backups in the Flash 217 through 219.
Oh, okay. Neil Adams?
Yeah.
Neil Adams stuff? Is that
I think that's collected in like the Absolute and the Deluxe edition.
Wait, let's check. Well, it's not. The contents aren't here on the book. Freaking frick. Let's double check. Green Arrow. Oh yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. The Flash, 217, 218, 219, 226. Okay. Right. So then I think it continued without Neil Adams. That's when it started with Mike Grell,
I'm trying to see.
I believe. But okay, this is where I get fuzzy because I didn't follow it after Mike Grell took over. Peace and love to Mike Grell, but I just didn't dig his very first art.
Okay. The Green Lantern title returned with issue number 90 in 1976 and continued the Green Lantern Green Arrow team format.
How many issues was that?
It looks like it lasted all the way to 127.
90 to 127? Okay, now that's starting to make sense because I bet that's what stretches it out, but does that equal?
Oh no, even further than that. It goes all because in 182, Dave Gibbons is the artist. So that run continues, I guess. They started on 90 in 76 and they just keep going.
Okay, 76, I definitely had stopped reading comics at that point.
Yeah, it goes all the way.
I wouldn't have known
it was canceled in 224. So issues 90 through 224 is what leads up to the Kyle Rayner years.
Oh, okay. Well, then I think that's what the answer must be. So 90 through 224?
Yeah.
That's a hell of a lot of issues.
Yeah, so that'd be, I mean, that's...
So that's the Bronze, that takes it up through the Bronze Age, and the beginning of Kyle Rayner is like the modern age.
It's like 90s, yeah.
Yeah.
Like early 90s, isn't it?
Okay. So we solved the problem. Good
job. So probably a lot of stuff that neither of you or I have read then, after the Neil Adams stuff.
I definitely did not read anything after the Neil Adams stuff. So, okay,
I'd love
good.
It won't have any Dave Gibbons in it, but I'd love to get to Dave Gibbons era because I love his artwork, obviously Watchmen, but
sure.
I'd love to read his like Green Lantern stuff. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Well, I have a Thor book I'm looking forward to, but it's by JMS and Gillen.
Oh, yes. I'm looking forward to that as well.
And I am also looking forward to The Question, Volume 2.
Yes, that one is on my DC list as well.
I'm going to order, but I can't read yet, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to order Axe Judgment Day next week. But to understand it, you have to read... okay, wait. I found it on Comic Releases. There is a complete... Okay, wait. No, it's in July. There's a you need to read his Kieran Gillen's Eternals, and there's an Eternals complete collection. There's Eternals by Kieran Gillen comes out in July, and that's what leads into Axe Judgment Day. But this collects Eternals 1 through 12, Eternals Thanos Rises, Eternals Celestia, and Eternals the Heretic. And you're also supposed to read Immortal X-Men 1, at least Immortal X-Men 1, to get into Axe Judgment Day. But if I wait till July to order Axe Judgment Day, you know me, I don't like to have books sold out under me. So I'm going to get Axe Judgment Day and then wait till that complete Kieran Gillen thing comes out of the Eternals, and then I will proceed to ignore it for 2 years and read it in 2028.
So what does so you said issue 12 of the Eternals, the omnibus, what issues of the Eternals are in the omnibus
of Axe Judgment Day?
Yeah, no Eternals issues. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, I think that's why it's Avengers, Eternals, and X-Men. It's Avengers, X-Men, Eternals, and it's like it takes bits from the Eternals and Immortal X-Men, and then it's Judgment Day or something. It's supposed to be a great event, and that's why I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I've been really wanting to read the Kieran Gillen Eternals run, but they haven't really collected it besides in those thin trades.
Right. I don't think Volume 2 is even out yet. That's why I'm going to wait for July for the whole chunky trade to come out, which collects all of it.
I thought it lasted longer than 12 issues, though.
Did it?
Maybe it has issues that take place after Axe Judgment Day, then?
I don't know. I don't claim to be an expert on the Eternals.
What about someone in the chat? Could you tell us how long did the Eternals by Kieran Gillen run last?
Yeah. Who's up on their Eternals? Let me go to the bottom.
That's another Jack Kirby book I love.
The Eternals?
Yeah. The Eternals, it lasted for 19 issues from him. And it was like so he did the Fourth World at DC, and then they canceled the books, and it was like really heartbreaking for him. And then he did some more stuff for DC. And when he did Eternals, it was almost like he was trying to get all the ideas out that he had for Fourth World. But he's like, I don't know when they're going to cancel this book, so I'm just going to throw every idea I can out there. So like every issue is like you're like presented to like 25 different ideas from Kirby, and he's just like, I'm just going to get them all out there. I don't know when they're going to cancel this book on me. Whereas like the Fourth World, you could see him like trying to pace it out.
Yeah. Rick Ray, good to see you. Nah, Eternals only went 12 issues and a bunch of one-shots.
Oh.
Rick Ray also is looking forward to Slaying the Horned God is getting a brand new oversized edition this year. Probably one of my most anticipated drops this year. You're welcome. I spent the dosh on the limited edition hardcovers, which cost me a fortune. And here you're able to get the oversized edition. You should at least send me a thank you email.
Did you get like the slipcase?
No, they were just
okay.
They were just the books.
Because there's like a 3-volume hardcover slipcase that's coming out too.
Well, yeah, but I'm not going to get that.
Okay.
I've already got the books, and that's enough. It's it's very European, very British, whatever it is, European. It's got for me, it's hard to read the word balloons in some of those things, the way they're lettered after they get translated. Peace and love. I'm just saying that for me. That's just me. I'm not criticizing European comics. Just settle down. I just have a hard time reading those. And so I haven't gotten to them, but so many people recommended it. Probably Rick Ray is one of them that recommended it to me. And so those are books that I've just gotten, that I've just stumbled upon. Like I stumbled on that Grant Morrison book that is what am I thinking of? It was reissued in 4.
It starts with a Z, doesn't it?
Zenith. Yeah. Zenith. Yeah. I haven't read that either.
I was going to say Zot, but that's the Scott McCloud book. Have you read Zot?
I have read bits of it, but it was hard for me to get into.
Oh, man. Zot is, I think it's another series you'd like. The black and white issues in particular.
I can see why I don't want to have you on very much.
Zot it's great though. There's a lot of heart to it, and it's Scott McCloud, because when he was doing Zot, he did Zot, and then right afterwards is when he did Understanding Comics, and it's almost like
I did read that.
Figuring out the ideas for Understanding Comics, like what makes a good comic book as he's doing it. Like so, it's almost like a great like if you're going to teach a class on Understanding Comics, you almost use Zot as like the issue for it. But it's so cool. It's like I don't know. I have a video on it actually, James Abel, if you want to find it, but. I like this series a lot. Scott McCloud, I think, is one of those artists that I wish did more comics.
What's he doing now? Is he like a professor or something?
I think he just does like Understanding Comics was so big for him. I think he wrote some stuff, but I think the only big thing he came out with after Understanding Comics, besides like the trilogy, I know there's like Understanding Comics, Making Comics, and something else, but was The Sculptor. I don't know if you ever read that.
Oh yeah, I have that.
I think that was his latest work.
Couple of heartbreaking moments and big twists in that book.
Did you ever read Destroy?
No.
Oh my gosh. Get some questions. I'll find it for you.
Okay. Kane's going to be getting Zdarsky's Daredevil. Oh, you already found it?
Yeah, that was quick. So, do you want me to show it off?
Yeah, sure.
For me?
Yeah,
so this came out in like 1986, and this was a single issue comic book. But look how big it is.
Wow. Oh, from Eclipse.
Yeah. So this is Scott McCloud, and it's like massive, this thing. It's just a single issue.
Where'd you find it?
So this is kind of hard to find. They released a 3D version, and it's like single issue, normal, like floppy sized. But this was hard to find now in this format. But a couple years ago, someone found like a whole stack of them in some sort of like warehouse, and he popped him up on eBay, and then someone in a Facebook group said like, "Hey guys, looking for Destroy? Like, this guy's selling him for like $20." But this whole thing is just a big fight between the superhero and the supervillain, and it's just like it's supposed to be like you're seeing like the destruction of the city throughout. It's 32 pages, and it's just like these guys just destroying the whole city. And it's like Scott McCloud saying like if superheroes really did fight in the city, this is what would actually happen.
Yeah.
So people say it's a commentary on like Image Comics before Image Comics even existed. But,
wow,
like,
this is gorgeous. I love how I forgot what a good artist he was.
Yeah, he's so good. But it just and like the guy's just saying destroy throughout the whole thing. Even has like a disclaimer right here. It says parents beware, it's the most meaningless, overblown violence, mayhem, and destruction. Plus one naughty word. It's so cool though.
That is.
It's only $4.95 when it came out on the stands.
How would I can't imagine how a comic shop would display that back then.
But if they did though, if you walked into a shop and saw this, like it's gonna catch your eye.
1986, you said?
I'm pretty sure it's 86.
Okay, that was just when I was getting back in, so I don't even know if I would have seen that.
Yeah, November 1986.
Yeah, I had been back for about a year reading at that point.
But like, yeah, the artwork is just so remarkable.
Okay, wait, let me highlight you. What is that, his mouth there with his molars?
Oh yeah. And it's like the indicias right there.
Oh, okay.
It's bigger than like even the Treasury edition. Like Treasury editions from like Marvel.
Yeah.
And there are little references too, like there's the building that Marvel refers to as like the Daily Bugle.
Oh yeah, and they're destroying it.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite comics in my collection, though, just because it's a fun little piece of comic book history.
Let's see, I went okay, I'm just jumping around now. This is what Kane's looking forward to. Spider-Girl Modern Epic, Ultimate Invasion. Ultimate Invasion, Gargoyles here in Manhattan, Batman Beyond Anniversary Compendium, Avengers Inc. Yeah, I'm interested in that too. Spine-tingling Spider-Man. I don't know that one.
Oh, who's working on that? That's like one of those special projects that has like a cool artist or somebody on it.
Who? Okay, and Batman Superman Volume 3. Spine-tingling Spider-Man. I hadn't even heard of that one.
I don't know if Saladin Ahmed's doing it, but who's the? Okay, maybe I was confused. Juan Ferreira is the artist. Maybe I was thinking of something else, but this is a new series. It's a haunting series, so it looks like a horror series, maybe.
Spine-tingling Spider-Man?
Yeah.
As a horror series? I'm buying it.
Yeah,
that sounds cool.
That's what it looks like to me. Oh, but speaking of compendiums, though, one I'm excited for is the Lobo one. Are you a fan of Lobo?
Big Fraggin' compendium or whatever.
I've been wanting a Lobo omnibus for years. Like that's always one of my most wanted. It still is. Like a Lobominous.
They missed an opportunity there. I'll get that compendium for sure. I love like
Lobo. 1,300 pages in that paperback.
Yeah,
it's got Simon Bisley artworks, Keith Giffen on writing. Like I have to get that.
I have a couple questions. I think I'm going to get the Rat Queens Omni. I have the first two oversized hardcovers. The second one's still sealed, so I should probably just sell them both and get the Omni. So I think I just made up my mind. I enjoyed Thunderbolts Red. That's coming out by Marvel, obviously, but that's the one that's started by Daniel Way, but then Charles Soule takes over. It has Punisher and Elektra and Red Hulk in it. I really enjoyed that run. It's just trade paperbacks that I have it in now.
I think they only have, after that omnibus too, they only have like one run that hasn't been collected by Thunderbolts, right?
Well,
one more Thunderbolts run.
I can't figure out what the Jeff Parker stuff is that I'm supposed to read from Riley. One of Riley's big recommendations to me, because he loves Jeff Parker, and he turned me on to the Jeff Parker Red Hulk series.
Oh yeah.
And everything Jeff Parker, I think Riley's responsible for. But there's a Jeff Parker Thunderbolts. I think a Jeff Parker Thunderbolts just came out, but I'm not sure if it's the Jeff Parker Thunderbolts that he said I should get.
They've been pumping out those omnibuses though.
Yeah, they have. Let me look to see. Okay, I'm gonna do something crazy here and put that Love and Rockets box set on my wish list. Okay.
Yes.
Let me see. Okay, let me type in Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts Omnibus. Volume 3. No, I heard I wasn't supposed to read that one. Uncaged. Okay, Thunderbolts Uncaged. Is it does. I don't even understand what's going on in this, and I can't tell if Jeff Parker wrote this. Dark Avengers are in it. Material from the Heroic Age. See, I don't think Thunderbolts Uncaged is the Jeff Parker book that I'm supposed to be wanting. So, I bet somebody in the chat knows what I'm talking about. So I'm going to get Thunderbolts read. I'm going to sell my books that I haven't even read yet of death metal and get the death metal Omni.
Oh.
I am toying with the idea of letting my precious standard size hardcovers of Astro City go to get the Opus editions.
Yeah.
I love that book with all my heart, and I love the art, so the idea is we like it oversized. So I'm talking myself into it as this is like therapy for me, only it's comic therapy. Taylor talks comics therapy. So I'm talking myself into the Astro City Opus editions.
I have the Metro books I've been getting, the paperback.
Yeah, those are okay. Those are cool. Yeah.
Which didn't they already solicit or I don't know if it's officially in the catalog or not, but volume 2 of the Opus?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen that solicited. I know it's coming after volume 1, but
I can't remember if it was official or not, but I know that it's supposed to be coming regardless. But
I kind of think it's funny too how I have those, like the first 6 Astro City books have different publishers on the spine. It's like Homage, Wildstorm, Image, DC, Vertigo, or whatever it is. They're all crazy, and I kind of like how weird that is. Let's see. Oh, Nick, welcome. Omnidog refining the term 2-a-days. Yep. Okay, here's a lot of Green Lantern stuff. I like Carrie Bates on Flash. Yeah, I remember he was the Carrie Bates on Flash. I remember liking him. Richard is saying he wants Dark Knight's Death Metal. Amazing Spider-Man by Michelini and Bagley, volume 1 for me, but honestly, too many to choose from. Look at that's right. We live in a wealth of wonderful books. That is 100% right.
It's true. And DC is upping their game because their omnibuses they're releasing this year all look really cool. Like they're putting some really fun ones out.
Yeah, because I'm getting to those. On my second page, I have the Ultimates from Hickman. They're standard size hardcovers. I will upgrade those to an omnibus. The Hickman Ultimates.
Yeah.
They're calling it Ultimate Marvel. It was the Thor and Hawkeye books and Ultimates with I don't want to spoil it for people who the maker. It's got the Maker 12 issues of the Maker for the Ultimates. I love that story. And somebody else was saying that they wanted a book that I wanted. So let's see if we can find it and highlight it. Doc Elevator. I want JLD Rebirth as much and Aquaman. What's the Aquaman?
Aquaman by Peter David.
Oh, right. Hook Hand.
Which would be the second Aquaman omnibus we've ever had.
Given the
After
way
Jeff
DC
Johns.
goes, we're probably lucky we've even got 2.
I know. That Silver Age Aquaman that popped up in. Oh, I know. I would have loved that.
Oh, me
But
too.
and Geo again. Another shout out to
Yeah.
Geo.
Absolutely. As much as I really, really, really like Justice League Dark from New 52, Rebirth takes it to an even better and bigger place. And it's if I like New 52, I loved Rebirth. So I'm really looking forward to that one. I bet you're looking forward to Secret 6.
Yeah, by Gail Simone, right?
Yeah, and I think that on my last show, I think maybe it was the Collected Editions live show. No, I think Daniel Cohen and I were discussing in my Discord. Daniel's in here somewhere. I just saw his name. I think he and I were discussing it, and I feel like it's going to be oddly mapped. It's going to have there's no content for it yet.
Oh.
But it sounded like there's going to be 2 of them. So it'd be like the first 3 starting with Villains United, and which is a weird way to collect it. It should just be the first 4 because those were all continuous, and then the 2 New 52 ones.
Gail Simone broke that news, I guess, on Twitter saying there will be 2 volumes.
Okay, and I think first of all, I don't think I've ever read anything by Gail Simone that I didn't absolutely super like or love. I have not. She is one of my favorite writers. So I am happy to upgrade Secret 6 to Secret 6. Sorry. We discussed the GLGA Omni. Let's see what some other people. Wait, I'm sure I missed a bunch of stuff in the middle.
Did Cleveland mention that Goiter's being collected? Because it is.
It is. It's coming out in a collected edition. Cycle, are you still in the chat? Tell us about Goiter.
It's coming out by Floating World Comics. Are you familiar with Floating World?
Well, I am, because he sent me like 7 issues of Goiter.
Well, those were self-published, I think. Floating World.
Floating World is the okay.
They have a lot of cool releases. They're kind of like a Fantagraphics type publisher, but they do a lot of more smaller name stuff.
Okay.
Here's one issue I got recently from them. Monster Fan Club. This is Shaky Kane, though. I think we talked about Shaky Kane last
episode. That cover, that's so cool.
It's got like holofoil on it.
Yeah. I want that.
That's really cool. I think issue 2 comes out soon.
That looks boss.
They did that. They also did. Oh, let me see. Oh, here it is. Black Phoenix. So, do you know Rich Tommaso?
I feel like I should know that name.
He's been like an underground cartoonist for like the last 20 or so years. But this is like a nice hardcover. And Rich Tommaso, he's been around forever, but he's been doing these things on Patreon. They're single issues, and it's called Black Phoenix. And each issue is like, it's basically Rich Tommaso just doing whatever comics he wants. So they're like within the same issue. It's like an anthology. There'll be like a sci-fi pulp comic. There'll be even like a sci-fi pulp, like old classic prose story with like an image on it, like the old classic days. There'll be like funny animal comics in there. But they did this nice hardcover. Here's a little bit of the artwork.
Okay.
And it's just like really fun stories that he's doing. Let me see.
This sounds like a book Cycle would like.
Yeah, I think he's part of the Patreon that gets him every month.
Ah, that makes sense.
But I'm not a big Patreon guy. So he's actually, these are being collected too in like trade paperbacks. I think the volume 3 of the trade paperbacks is coming out soon. But it's a really nice hardcover though. This is like, I don't know what size it is. Yeah, it's probably closer to like like an omnibus.
Omnibus size? Okay.
But it's like really well put together. But it's by Floating World. That's their logo right there.
Oh, okay.
I guess I could turn it that way.
Well, I may have to get a Goiter collection because volume 1 is apparently very out of print and hard to get, and I haven't even read any Goiter, and now I want this damn Goiter book, collected book. Freaking Cycle Cleveland. Love and Rockets. Larry makes a good point. And Jess, the great band, Love and Rockets took their name from the comic.
I've never listened to that band actually, but I did know that.
That was the guys of Bauhaus who except for Peter Murphy. So I had a bunch of Love and Rockets had a bunch of stuff. Okay, wait, no. Before Love and Rockets, they were something else. After Bauhaus, oh hell, I know I kept those because they were so rare. Then they became Love and Rockets. There was a band right in the middle.
8 Ball.
Sorry?
8 Ball. Hate. Neat stuff.
No. You're messing me up, man. What the heck were they called? They were okay. The chat and Larry probably knows. Right. God, I can see the. I think Go was the single that was so popular. I don't think that was Love and Rockets.
The Bubbleman.
What?
Tones on a Tail.
Tones on Tail. Exactly. There you go.
Pop
nice.
Tone.
Tones on Tail. How'd you get that? Oh, you searched it?
Wikipedia.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Tones on Tail. They were great.
I have a Love and Rockets shirt from like the comic, and no one in public usually mentions anything about it. But one time someone stopped me like, "Oh, I love your shirt." And I was like, "Oh, awesome!" And they're like, "Yeah, I love that band." And I was like, "Oh."
They were great. I love Tones on Tail, Larry's Library, and it was Alan Moore who suggested it, and he recorded a flexi disc with them when they were called the Sinister Ducks.
What?
I did not even know that.
Wait, Alan Moore suggested they change the name to Love and Rockets?
I guess so.
Because Alan Moore was a fan of the comic. Like he was a big proponent of the comic, saying it was like the best thing in comics today. And
of course they have that Bauhaus blood. Yup. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was. Well, I think there were only 3 or 4 of them. Yeah, and Peter Murphy. Peter Murphy did an amazing album called Dolly's Car. The group was called Dolly's Car, but it was only one album, and I can't put my hands on it, but it was brilliant. I feel like that was Peter Murphy and maybe the guy from Japan, David Sylvian. Okay, maybe it wasn't Peter Murphy because they're both vocalists. Maybe it was David Sylvian and somebody else. Larry and Lars, help me out. You're getting love for Thor here.
yes,
I agree with Taylor. Yeah, Rick Ray. I agree with Taylor. Thor is fun. It's totally epic. And the art, yeah. Wow, Thor Omnibus Volume 1, okay.
I'm telling you, it's great.
Let's see. Green Lantern, Green Arrow. Terry wants the Green Lantern, Green Arrow. And of course, Madman Library Editions 5 and 6. 5's already out, but maybe not in Australia where Terry is. The Lebs Mesner on Flash is largely underrated. Wade is still the best Flash writer, but William Messner Loeb's is really good. Sasmurf, good to see you, buddy. And Richard Fearing had a good question for us. This is a really good question. This will take some time. Actually, I already know. Omnidog and Taylor, what is your most treasured book in your collection?
Jeez.
What's the one thing that you... I don't even want to think of disaster scenarios because that's putting bad stuff out in the universe. So let's just think of it in terms of Richard's asking us this question. Do you want me to go first? I know
if you're
already.
going to a desert island and you can only grab one book.
Okay, that's not bad. I can already tell you what mine is because it was a gift from a good friend of mine back when the Facebook group was really popping. and his name's Mike Noah, and he's a great guy. And he sent me so many out of print books as gifts that it spurred me on to take that great Pacific Northwest trip that I took in 2016. And I was just finding hundreds of books for everybody. So Mike Noah paid it forward to me, and then I tried to pay it forward to other people. That book is the original Naughty and Nice by Bruce Timm.
Oh,
because it's got the DC stuff in it that the new Naughty and Nice does not, because was copyright, license issues, something or other. But that's my most treasured book. And Jake, if you're still listening, don't even pretend that you stole it, because I know I have it.
It's so hard because, like, do I pick one that is super rare and out of print? Or do I pick one that...
But see, mine was sentimental, and I love it, and I love what's in it, and I love everything. So mine has the gift of sentimentality, being rare, and being a gift, and also something I love.
I know. I don't think I could top that.
Well, how about the Green Arrow book I sent you?
That's up there.
Or the
I do. With that said, and not just because I'm on the show with you, the books that you've sent me, or I do treasure those because they're from you, and even the cool Al I'm looking at right now, the Al Williamson book you sent me.
Yeah,
that's
I
really
was
cool.
happy to send you that one. Because I
those
knew it would
mean, like, I remember where I get most of my books from. Like, that's part of the journey too. I think, like, I remember the moment I was at, or who sent me what, or where I bought something at.
Yeah.
So from a sentimentality point, definitely like something like that. But I don't know, if I was on a desert island, it would have to be something like the Love and Rockets box set or Absolute Watchmen. I don't know.
Okay,
it's hard to say though. Or the complete 8-ball.
Oh yeah, that's so good.
Yeah.
Kirby, Thor. Of course, William Noffner Lowe's, Dark Knights, we covered that. Yeah. Those are songs wrong. Kane, we talked about. Okay, I'm gonna get up. I picked up, Fifth of Jack. How's it going? I picked up Miller's version of Daredevil to rep for the character, but I might... Dude, you need to get Brubaker. You need to get Bendis. You need to get Wade. Those are all awesome. And I mean awesome. I'm not just saying awesome for awesome's sake. Daredevil, for my money, has had an amazing streak of great creators. Charles Soule's run led up to Zdarsky's. So Miller, of course, rewrote the book on Daredevil, and
then Anna Cinti, her run.
Sorry,
Anna Cinti's run.
Oh yeah, Anna Cinti's run is that's only in Epics right now. So
that is
Omni.
But I will throw out too. I always want to mention this for Daredevil fans. The Silver Age run is underrated. I love the Silver Age run, and Omnibus's Volume 2 came out last year, and Volume 3 is coming out this year. Collecting that run. But
God bless America. Mike Allred was in the chat. Half an hour ago. For your information, Mikey Allred here, catching up to live. No one has ever limited what I would like to talk about. Maybe folks should, because my brain can bounce around like crazy. Publishers prefer I don't discuss unannounced projects, which I'm pretty good about honoring.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. I see the chat figured out that he was there before I did. Mike, if you're still here, I'm pleased that you showed up, but I'm sorry I didn't get to your question. Let's see. Is he still here? Raise your hand to say I'm here, like in Superman Space Age, if you're still here. Darn it. I'm so sorry I missed that. But I'm also pleased that he tuned in.
I know. Mike, hello. I'm honored that you were here watching the show.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um. Uh, we
Still
were
here.
talking about you earlier, my new best friend.
Mike, I got the Madmans back here. Madman
There they
Library.
are. Yep.
And we were talking about iZombie earlier.
Yep. Actually, like the first 45 minutes of the show, we were talking about the interview.
We're talking about all the fill-in artists that are in that omnibus.
That's good that he set the record straight, though.
Yeah.
Is there Goon Phantom Fool? Welcome. Is there a Goon Library reprint?
There's nothing announced, but that's got to be inevitable because now Eric Pell's back with Dark Horse. You know that, right?
I didn't. I thought he was still doing Albatross.
No, Albatross is now an imprint of Dark Horse. Albatross has closed their doors. It's now an official imprint of Dark Horse. I think he announced his first Dark Horse comic coming out, and it's this summer. It has nothing to do with Goon, but it's called Frederick Worthless.
Oh yeah, from Frederick Wortham. Yeah,
I cannot wait. That book's right up my alley.
Yeah, me too.
I love comic book history. It says like he almost killed the industry, and that's what I always say is like Frederick Wortham literally almost killed the comic book industry.
He really did. Yeah.
Like just to know the stories of how many like single issues were sold every week before he did that, it's mind-boggling. Like if we could have that health of the comic book industry now, we would be. But anyways, so that book I'm looking forward to. But now that he's back with Dark Horse, I think it's inevitable that we get library reprints of the Goon.
When I first bought those library editions, they were all in print, and like a week later, I think it's volume 3 that became the Whale. I mean, now they're all out of print, but for a long time, volume 3 was the Whale. I love the Goon. That is just, I love all his stuff.
I was too late on the library editions, but I got the omnibus editions that are like
good.
A bunch of old crap paperbacks. But I recently sold those. I sold them all as like a gamble. I like to do this sometimes. I'm like, I'm going to sell them all, and one day they're going to reprint those library editions.
Oh man, you are a riverboat gambler. I would never sell mine.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. There's actually enough material for a volume 6 also.
Just wanted to clarify that. Okay, Mike, if you're still in the chat, I missed one question that I wanted to ask you, and then I will leave you alone. Do you, Madman and Joe, in the book Madman, do they represent you and Laura in some respect? Because like Joe is super loyal to Madman no matter what. Okay, I'm asking. Great. Joe is loyal to Frank Einstein no matter what, and he's a little bit of a different guy, but she loves him unconditionally. Do you put any of your is she Laura? That's my question. Is Joe Laura? Oh yeah, Cycle, don't chase Mike out of the chat, please.
And I'd like to ask Mike, do you, since you're all into Hot Toys and all the action figures and dioramas and stuff, could you make anything happen to get us Ecstatics toys?
Oh, like, wow. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know.
Could you get who is it that owns or does Marvel Legends?
Hasbro.
Can you get on the Hasbro's phone and tell them like, I'm Mike Allred. Do you know who I am? We need Ecstatics toys. Let's make it happen.
Early on, something was said about limiting my. Oh, this is okay. Wide open convo.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I'm just catching up on all the Mike stuff that was said. Yes. Initially, it was subconscious, and then I realized we were Frank and Joe.
That's amazing. That's so sweet.
Thank you. I meant to ask that, and we went off whatever tangent we covered the promotion you wanted to cover, of course, for OAX, but then everything else that came out was just so interesting. I mean, I think I said earlier, maybe it was the show with Joachim earlier in the day, but I had pages of questions and I never even got to them. Because everything he was saying I found it so interesting.
Definitely. It was just a natural conversation.
Yeah. It was so much fun. What if we get a dupe hot toy?
Yes, ecstatic or Hot Toys too. Whatever company needs to make them.
Still loving excellent. I have
Yes.
that here.
That's a great series. I got that in
Oh, that's New Mutants.
oh no, that's the wrong one. I was getting those in
in.
single issues.
I meant to pull out this.
which we need a follow-up, like at least an OHC, an oversized hardcover to go with the omnibus of all the excellent, and then like the grand design, or sorry, giant sized ecstatics I think came out, which kicked off all of that. Do you have that issue?
Giant sized ecstatics?
Yeah, it came out like a couple years after, but a couple years before Excellent came out. It was like a single issue. It might be collected in that first volume of the trade paperback. I don't know if that.
Okay, wait. Okay, giant size ecstatics.
Yeah, it was a single issue that came out after, and it's not in the omnibus.
After the omnibus, but before Excellent. So what was it collected in?
I only have the single issues.
No, you're right. Yeah, giant size ecstatics is in this.
Oh, okay.
First volume. Only it's small trade paperback size ecstatics.
Right. Because there's 2 volumes of the trade paperbacks, right?
Yes, as far as I know.
Yeah, because I got that all in singles. But yeah, the giant size ecstatics kind of kicks it off.
Yeah, that must have been the cover. How did I miss that? I hate missing things, man. I'll go on eBay. It'll be $500.
But they need to lump all those together like in an OHC though, and have a nice companion to the omnibus.
I think that Wolverine and X-Force are going to be the last both by Benjamin Percy, and finishing out Avengers by Jason Aaron, and finishing out Fantastic Four by Dan Slott. Those will be the last 4 OHCs.
For now, though. They might go back to them.
Well, you are the guy that sold your goons, so you definitely live in the future.
Unless Mike could tell us. I know you said he doesn't like to announce things ahead of time, but are there going to be more excellent issues down the pipeline?
Let's see. Wait, let me get to Larry's question. Where are you, Larry? Mike, I think you would be awesome on a nice trippy Doctor Strange OGN, and Mike said, oh, whoops, that's answering my question. Sorry. He digs Doc Strange, played with him some, better, never enough.
I think the series I want to see him on, and I know he did what was the Hot Toys question?
I think somebody suggested a Hot Toys dupe. That was James, super producer James.
And I want a whole line of all the ecstatics figures, all the characters.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't have to be Hot Toys, it could be Marvel Legends.
Richard,
yes, you do.
You do. Dan Slott and Mike Allred.
So good.
That was my book of the year when it first came out.
So good.
Up. Yeah.
But I want to see Mike on a Fantastic Four proper. I know he did like the Matt Fraction era where the team was a little bit different. I want to see him playing. I want to see him playing with those like classic four, Fantastic Four. Because I think I think he's a big fan of Fantastic Four. If I'm right, I know he's a big fan of Kirby. But just to see him like working with those characters, it's so in his wheelhouse.
Would love everything I've done turned into 6 scale figures, but don't know how much pull I have.
Well, just show them the dioramas you make and stuff, and they'll be like, "Wait a minute, this guy knows what he's talking about."
Yeah, show them your entire collection of 6 scale figures. Hot Toys has to listen to you. Rick Ray wants the Ecstatics Omnibus reprint. I agree with that. My first printing fell apart after one read. The only Marvel Omnibus I owned with terrible binding. Let me say, okay. Oh, one of the books I'm looking forward to, Fables Volume 16.
Oh.
Oversized hardcover. Want that.
That's a series I never read.
Oh, dude. That's one of the, let's see, Fables, Hellblazer. Those are 2 of the series I finished. 150 issues, and then 300 for Hellblazer. Well, I read all of Sandman, but that was only 75 issues. I certainly haven't read all of X-Men, like crazy Peter M. and Omar.
I want to do the read of issues 1 through 300 of Hellblazer, but those books are starting to get out of print now. Like they print them all those thick trades.
Yeah,
I'm thinking it's ripe for some compendiums. I know people want omnibuses, but I feel like they go those this compendium route for these Vertigo series. So I'm kind of hoping they do Hellblazer compendiums.
I agree with that, and I will raise you Scalped. I think Scalped needs an omnibus, and if they can't give us an omnibus, I mean, I have the OHCs, which I finished last summer, but that thing needs a reprint because Scalped is completely out of print, and people need to see the just amazing rawness that Jason Aaron came up with. Yes, the trade, Freaky Joe, doo-dee-doo. Yes, you should get Silver Surfer, Ecstatics, Cycle. I can't believe.
Oh, you can see my cat in the background here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nice. And I hope people appreciated that thumbnail. Patty put that together of pictures of Taylor and I. That's Taylor's real cat, and that's my rent-a-cat that shows up when she wants to from the neighbors.
The cat that has appeared actually is not the same one in that picture. She's actually in the background of the picture if you look close. But the one on my lap is my older cat. She's probably
you have two?
Yeah, and they're both tuxedo cats, where they're like black cats with like the white bellies.
Yeah, that's like Lily, my cat, my rent-a-cat.
Oh,
there you go! Yay!
Tuxedo cats, they're the best.
Yeah. Oh gosh, she's so beautiful and so friendly. Phantom Fool, I can't believe I didn't pick up Goon Library when they were coming out. What was I thinking? Oh, you missed out on Harrow County and East of West too? I'm so sorry, Phantom Fool.
Don't overpay for any of those. They will come back. I know Harrow County had this blip where it's going to come back, but didn't. And I know East of West, Hickman said it'll never come back, but we also heard the Free Agent would never come back in an oversized hardcover, and we just got that. So just be patient. Maybe set up some eBay alerts.
You could always set up eBay notifications, and when a book will come up at your price.
Yeah, just don't overpay for it.
Yeah, don't 100%. I agree with them.
I think I've only paid over cover price on like 1 or 2 books in my life. I try not to ever.
I have never.
I think that Complete April I might have paid a little bit, like $5 or $10. I didn't go for it. Goes for like $400 on eBay.
It does?
Oh yeah, that box set is absolutely outrageous.
I couldn't part with it.
I know.
8 Ball and Hate were my favorite things in the 90s.
But someone was selling a copy for like just over cover price, and I was like, I was patient. I was looking for it for years.
Oh, okay. So this was way after when it came out.
Yeah, I picked my copy up like last year, or the year before. And it came out years ago.
Oh yeah. What whale book were you happy to finally get into your collection? Mine was Annihilation Conquest Omnibus and Realm of Kings Omnibus to complete my modern Marvel Cosmic Omnis. When I started collecting collected editions, that was when reprints were not known. There were no reprints. Everything was out of print. Astonishing X-Men was out of print. Uncanny X-Force was out of print. Those books that you just talked about right there, the Cosmic Omnis, out of print. Daredevil, Brubaker and Bendis, out of print. Alias was out of print for a while. Captain America by Brubaker, out of print. Let's see. Fantastic Four. That came back into print. That seemed to be more evergreen. Amazing Spider-Man. I feel like Amazing Spider-Man wasn't evergreen like Fantastic Four was.
Ooh, I know what my answer is.
Punisher by Garth Ennis, Max, and regular, out of print. Secret Warriors, out of print. Wolverine, all the Wolverine. Well, it was just Wolverine Volume 1 was out of print. My point is, there were a lot of whales out there. There were trade paperback whales. There were deluxe. There were OHC whales. It was nothing but whales. And now we fortunately live in a time of reprints. And as much, I go back and forth with Very Fine Condition because I love to bust his balls, but he and I are actually very close friends, and I give him full credit for getting reprints started back up with Marvel.
100%.
Yeah, Omar is 100% responsible for that, and I give David Gabriel credit for listening to Omar.
Yes, that's a big key. Like Omar, obviously, hands down, has done so much. But the fact that David Gabriel reached out to the community, found someone, and found the right person, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
was able to like listen to him, not just think like, oh, he's like just a crazy fan. And now we have like every year we get the top 20 omnibus reprint poll, and Marvel listens to it. Like we almost have 100% every year of reprinted based on what the fans want. Like crazy. I wish DC would do the same thing.
I wish they would reach into their back catalog and give me Sugar and Spike and Jimmy Olsen and Lois Lane.
Oh, I want those Jimmy Olsen issues for sure.
They're so crazy.
This is my, besides the complete 8-ball for sure, was my favorite find.
Okay.
But when this was reprinted finally, this was a whale when I got it into the omnibus game. This is volume 2 of the Fantastic Four omnibuses, Lee Kirby era. But this has like the stretch of like 9 issues, which I think is like the greatest stretch of 9 issues ever in superhero comics, where it starts off with the Inhumans being debuted, and then it has the Trial of Galactus trilogy, This Man, This Monster in issue 51, and then the following 2 issues are the debut of Black Panther. Like you can't, like Inhumans, Galactus, Black Panther, like so many characters and ideas were created in that 9-issue period. So that volume alone, I think, is the one I was most excited to pick up.
You know, you really have a lot of knowledge. I think you should start your own YouTube channel. you have so much knowledge.
And I should have great guests like Mike Allred on it. Taylor Talks Comics. Subscribe if you haven't.
Just No Need to Buy Fables is public domain now. Yeah, there was some weird thing where I think the artist Bill Willingham wanted to put it in the public domain or something.
He declared it, which is funny. Do you watch The Office?
Yes.
You know when Mike
declare bankruptcy.
Yeah, when he says I declare bankruptcy. Like I feel like that's what Bill Willingham did. He's like, I declare public domain.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that. I can't wait.
Even if he could, though, that doesn't mean people can print the DC issues all they want. I think that would only mean that people could take those characters and make their own comics with them. Is what that would mean.
And it's just all like Snow White and Cinderella and everything.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of those characters are public domain anyways. But
yeah,
like just like what's happening with Mickey Mouse right now, where he's like public domain now, like that version of him, the Steamboat Willie version.
Yeah,
people can't sell Mickey Mouse merchandise, or like they can't take those old episodes and sell them, but they can make their own stories as long as they look a certain way. And if you feel comfortable towing that line of fighting with Disney and all of their warriors,
yeah,
I don't know if anybody can compete with that. But
okay, he says for sure want to play more with the original 4.
That's like my dream book, Mike. Working on the Fantastic Four.
And he looks like he wants to do Conan, which I think he said last night. I know he
did. Yeah, I saw that part too.
Okay. Yeah, I know he is a huge fan of Barry Windsor Smith.
Which I was surprised to hear that part. That Conan was a character. Like it doesn't seem like all the characters that Mike's worked with. Like it seems like such a kind of out of left field pick, in my opinion. Like I think he could pull it off and he'll knock it out of the park. Absolutely. But it just if someone asked me what I think Mike would want to do, I wouldn't have picked Conan. So that would be a really interesting series. I would definitely fork down the cash for it.
Oh, this is a dream team up. Mark Waid and Mike Allred on FF. I'm calling it now. Larry, from your words to Marvel's ears.
That would be amazing.
I don't know if Mark Waid. I think maybe Mark Waid's going back and forth. I don't feel like he's doing. I feel like he's doing DC right now, but
I don't know if he's exclusive with DC right now, but he's definitely only working on DC right now.
Yeah, and I'm kind of unclear on. I know Stephanie Phillips was doing, Harley Quinn, which I thought was one of the best Harley Quinn series that I've ever read, but now she's doing something with Marvel. But Jason Aaron's also now working on Superman, so I wonder if these guys are now having non-exclusive contracts.
Well, I think some people go exclusive and some don't. I think Jason Aaron, I feel like he is exclusive with DC now. I feel like he fully jumped ship.
Oh, really? Okay.
Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm almost certain that he fully jumped ship. I think he finished with the Avengers, and now he's officially DC. Because I think he's doing a Batman comic also.
I know he did. I think he's working on Superman.
Okay, I thought he was doing like a little both, but regardless, I think he's exclusive.
Well, we have a creator in the chat that may know, but I don't. And you have the news show, so you should know.
I know. I should be on the. I should write this down. Figure out what the deal with Jason Aaron is.
Yeah.
I should have the scoop on that.
Let's see. Okay, shot of Kitty. Yeah. Barry. Okay. Barry Windsor Smith was crucial to my development. Would dig getting a run at Young Conan Adventures.
That would be amazing. I could totally. Okay. I could totally see.
Now you can see it, huh?
Young Conan Adventures by. Yes. That'd be awesome.
Black Kitty. Yes. Queen Lily visits me. She didn't visit today. It's really cold outside, but she'll either come to the back door here. So I'm constantly coming down here. Is the cat down here? Is the cat down? Because now we totally want her to come in. And we leave the front door open with like the storm door closed. Because if we open it and she's around, she will just shoot right in. And we're like, Lily's here and everybody's happy. And she sniffs and jumps and does everything. And I did take a shot of her. I think, I posted it on Instagram where she yesterday fell asleep on the arm of my chair while I was in it. And I'm like, okay, I can't move now because
that's the rule. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like having a dog on your lap. I mean, you're captured.
Like, honey, I'd love to do the laundry, but I got a cat on the chair. I can't move.
Yeah. My cat Sunshine is a tuxedo.
Yes, tuxedo cats.
Now, wait, your other cats, oh no, that was Joachim's was a ginger. You have 2 black cats.
Yeah, 2 tuxedo cats, yeah.
Okay. I'm doing balloons, fireworks, and a laser show at the screen, but it's not working. Here we go. There's the laser show, just so you can see it. And there's, I think this is balloons, and then I can get confetti if I bring up. Oh, there's the double one. Yeah, balloons and confetti. Whoop, more balloons. And then I can make it rain if you're not happy. No, yeah, there it goes. Oh, I'm so sad. I'm so sad Silver Age Superman isn't going to come out in my lifetime.
Wait, no, Silver Age Superman is.
Well, yeah, I need...
It's coming out this year.
I need those 68 through 74.
Yeah.
Kenny says, Jason Aaron is now writing Superman in Action Comics. Issue 1061 came out this week, and no spoilers. It was great.
That's one thing I like about Kenny, too, is that he's a huge diehard Superman fan, but I could tell that he's not like, oh, it's only the classic stuff's the only good stuff. Like, I hate this new stuff. Like, he's into the new comics, too.
Kenny, do you have... I know you're a huge Supergirl fan. Do you have the Paul... What was the stuff that I showed you one time with Carmine Infantino art? Paul Kupperberg? Paul?
It wasn't Paul Levitz, was it? It's Carmine Infantino on the art for sure, though.
Which I was stunned at. I wasn't even aware that he drew after he was an editor or publisher or whatever he was at DC. I had no idea he went back to drawing comics because that was the period I wasn't collecting. What did you find? Supergirl 2 or 1? You
found volume 1. I'm still looking for volume 2.
Okay, well, you just have an eBay notice for that one. I'm sure you could get it for like $20.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not crazy. I haven't even, to be honest, I haven't looked on eBay to see if it's out of print or anything.
Oh my gosh, why do I have you on my show if you're not?
There's so many books out there, man. It's hard to keep,
Yeah.
And they're gonna announce an omnibus one day. You bought the two trades already.
Just put me onto the Silver Surfer. Oh, Psycho Cleveland. He's not typing in all caps, so he's quite serious. Just put me onto the Silver Surfer by the Allreds, and I normally don't pay much attention to Marvel. I think it also led Jess to trying Doctor Who too.
Oh, I thought he was going to say I don't pay much attention to Jess.
That's probably the better option. I am open to watching Doctor Who. That Blink episode I thought was bitchin', and I want to see it again because the beginning was, I watched it on my Discord. The beginning was a little fuzzy for me, and I didn't understand what was going on, but by the end, I understood what was going on, so I need to get it.
I'm sure he is, but Mike, if you're still in the chat, are you a Doctor Who fan yourself? I know Dan Slott's definitely a Doctor Who fan, but like the inspiration for that Silver Surfer run, were you a Whovian?
He feels Kirby's run on FF is my absolute all-time favorite run of anything ever. That's pretty definitive.
Yes, I can
Ever.
tell that, and that's why you're my favorite artist in comics today.
Let's see. Amendment B, Black Kitty. Yep. Balloons. Yep. Superman. Taylor Mike was extolling. Taylor. Mike was extolling the greatness of DC Comics Solo and Wednesday Comics yesterday too.
I have both of those.
Of course you do. You're a good collector, buddy of mine.
I have the Wednesday Comics hardcover.
Yep.
That Mike Allred is in here, and then the Solo book is back here somewhere, which Mike did an issue of.
Yeah, and he was telling, I think we may have even gotten a smidgen of his wife in for when he was telling us about the Metamorpho Neil Gaiman story in Wednesday Comics. So you'll have to watch the interview. Did you see that part of the interview?
No, I didn't.
I can't remember if Metamorpho made Laura cry or what it was, but he said Neil Gaiman gave him like just a few things, and it turned into this giant thing of various Metamorpho heads doing various things that Neil Gaiman wanted him to do. He had to interpret it all from what Neil Gaiman's tiny little notes, and so it was funny to hear that from him.
I love Mike's anything he does with 66 Batman.
Oh yeah,
I know he did like the covers for that omnibus, right? Yeah, he didn't do too many issues interiors, right? Did he?
He didn't do what?
He didn't do the interiors on a lot of those issues, did he? I can't remember. Oh, here it is.
It says, "Oh, Bane, bleh, 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 bleh."
So I know he did a ton of covers in here.
Oh, he did do a ton of covers, which I have a lot of them. Egghead. This is so great.
Oh, I love this omnibus.
Yeah.
And I was so happy to see Mike talk about that yesterday with his BatCave he made with I love Adam West Batman's like one of my all-time favorite TV shows. So the fact that he's a big fan of that too, like that's why Mike Allred's my favorite current artist. He's into Lee Kirby, Fantastic Four. He's into Batman, 60s Batman. There's so many things into.
He and I were kids when that Batman 66 show was on. And it wasn't Batman 66. It was just Batman.
Just Batman, yeah.
Yeah, but it was on this is a game I actually would like to play with Mike. If he ever wants to come back on, I want to play a game with him. What channel was this show on? Because I remember Batman was on ABC. It was on Wednesday. It did so well like the first few months, and it always ended on a cliffhanger that then they started running it Wednesday and Thursday.
It was like back-to-back days.
Yeah, which was really rare back then. And so I think it only ran 3 years, but then they had the guests they had on that show were crazy.
Yeah.
They even had a McCarthy era guy. I remember, if I could remember his name right, G. David Shine. I think that was his name, and he was famous for being infamous during the McCarthy era. And it was like, how is he on this show? I didn't say that as a little kid. It was when I was an adult and after I had done my senior thesis on McCarthyism that for history that I picked up on who G. David Shine was. And I saw Batman and I said, how did G. David Shine get in this? What? I don't know. It just blew my mind. I will tell you, Mike Allred's copy of Solo is signed by Adam West.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you have to watch that whole episode, dude.
I'm going to. Don't worry.
I mean, his house has got to be like a museum of fun. It's just he has just turned it into his playground of what he creates, and it's so boss. I mean, he didn't give us a tour. He showed us a little bit, but
we need someone with a good camera that can go in there and do a tour with Mike of all of his stuff, even his comic book collection. I love to see artists' comic book collection. And we saw a little bit. I know you pointed out like the Silver Age DC omnibuses he has in the background.
Oh yeah.
So we saw a little bit in those pictures, but I love to see what comic book artists have for inspiration, like what kind of books they have around them too.
Oh, and he lists in the interview all of his inspirations.
Yeah, I can't wait. I need to see the whole thing. I just haven't had a shot to
and the people that helped him out and the friends that he has, and it was amazing. Okay, this is important. Omar's a good man. We all agree not to tell him, right? Correct. Yes, I paid for my Animal Man, double the price omnibus, but not again. I will wait for reprint by Grant Morrison.
That is a great omnibus, though. So if you overpaid for it, at least you got a great one. Yes, there we go. Look at that.
Right here, buddy. So what Animal Man did you pay? Was it
well, the Grant Morrison omnibus was out of print for a long time.
But was it Jeff Lemire's that you paid double the price? Because he said he paid double the price for the Animal Man omnibus, but not again. I'll wait for reprint by Grant Morrison. So did you buy the Animal Man by Jeff Lemire that you paid double the price? And I'm not judging.
Yeah,
I know you live in Australia and it's tougher to get books there. So
but
the
omnibus was reprinted last year, though. The Grant Morrison one.
Okay. Getting the 8-ball single issues is cheaper.
Yeah,
that's probably true. DC Toth collection.
Oh, that'd be great.
That would be amazing.
I have the 3 Toth books that IDW put out. They just reprinted them recently. Do you have those, like the Genius Illustrated, Genius?
I don't.
You don't? Do you want me to sell you on some more books, or do you want me to hold off?
This is terrible. Mike was spending my money yesterday, and now you're spending mine today.
I can hold off. But
no,
I can
go get him. Go get him. I'll take some questions. Omar's a great dude. Did you guys see all the Marvel Trouble by Mark Miller books that he got from someone?
Oh, that was hilarious. My Voltron is died. Yeah.
Is he okay?
His arm fell off. That's okay.
Arm fall off, boy?
It's supposed to come off. It's okay.
Okay.
I think it's fine. But yeah, someone sent him a whole box of Trouble Deluxe editions and trade paperbacks. That's all it was just a box full of those.
Oh, okay. Wait, say it again.
You know the comic Trouble by Mark Miller and Terry Dodson. Are you familiar with that comic?
I don't think I do.
It's a Marvel comic. It's about Aunt May when she was younger.
Oh, I absolutely do not know it.
Okay, well, it's probably a good thing you don't. It's notoriously known as like this awful comic, and it's notoriously like because it shows Aunt May when she's a little bit of I don't know the way to say this in school. She was not a one man woman. I'll say that
she was a bit of a flirt.
Yes,
let's say it that way.
And it's Mark Miller, so you can imagine how much he pushes that boundary.
Oh.
So it's like people hate this comic, and I think it's because of that. You think of Aunt May as like this wholesome, like she loved Uncle Ben. She's this wholesome lady. So Mark Miller telling the story of when she was younger, but so it's notoriously bad. And I think Omar brings it up on a show a lot about how he's like, I don't want to read Trouble, it's awful, or he has read it, but he's like, I don't want that book in my house or whatever. So someone sent him a whole box of just Trouble, like different. And it's on his Instagram. He posted it of the whole stack of them, and that's all it was. This box, it didn't have a return address on it. It was just a box full of like 20 volume, or not volumes, but 20 different copies of the same book.
Here's the sound of Mike Allred dropping more names. Wade and I were teasing working together just a couple days ago. My Daredevil with him is a fave. My Daredevil with him is a fave. Count me in on us on FF. Let's make it happen. We're putting it out in the universe.
Take my money.
Oh, that would be a huge seller. That would be an instant sellout. Instant.
All right, so do you want to see his Toth books?
I wanted you to show me the Trouble books, but yeah, I'll look at the Toth books.
All right, so they're These are previously released in oversized hardcovers. They just recently reprinted them in these paperbacks.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Genius Isolated, Genius Illustrated, and Genius Animated.
Oh, is Space Ghost on the cover of one of them?
Oh, the animated one for sure.
Yeah. That's what we
So,
grew up with.
These are my favorite kind of historic comic book collections where they're like a compilation of like articles and essays with some like concept art and behind the scenes art, but also collects like comics in it. So this is the first volume. It's The Life and Art of Alex Toth, Genius Isolated. And it is oversized, but it collects a bunch of his old comics in here.
Ooh.
This is put out by or Dean Mulaney is the guy that put this together.
Ooh.
And like it's just so much great Alex Toth art.
So does it also talk about his life?
Yes, it talks all about his life. There's like all kinds of essays in here and stuff. All about his upbringing and the tragic parts of his life in here too. Here's a picture of Alex Toth when he was younger.
Wow.
And then the second volume is illustrated, and you get some like concept art for even like TV shows that didn't even come to fruition.
Oh, God bless it. I'm gonna have to get this too. You jerk.
So you get like these like concept art drawings and stuff in here.
Is that Johnny Quest?
If it's not, no, it's Tommy Action.
Tommy Action?
Yeah, but he did do Johnny Quest, I think, which is in the animated section.
Which, by the way, is the greatest opening theme song of all time, that Johnny Quest.
Oh, Johnny Quest was so good. I grew up on Johnny Quest, watching it in the early mornings.
Yeah.
So good.
I feel like he was on in prime time when I was a kid, but and that theme song is just amazing.
Well, yeah, when I saw it, it was in syndication years later, but
yeah, well, that's okay.
But you get like storyboards and stuff he did.
Oh my God, look at this stuff.
I know his artwork is so. One of the articles I was reading in one of these books too talked about how he could do a million different faces. Like no two of his characters ever look the same, which some artists have like that same face syndrome, they call it.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I know what you mean.
Toth was like the antithesis of that. Like all of his characters look different, and it's just from a few lines. Like he was such his line art is so like. I hate the word simplistic because it makes it sound.
No, but you're right. There's not a lot of definition, but it pulls. You can see exactly who it is.
Right? Yeah, he got away with so much in so few lines that it looks so freaking good.
Look at Green Lantern's face. I mean, it's defined, but it's not like super heavy defined. But you can see exactly. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And try to do that. Try to do that again on your own and see if you can pull it off. Because
yeah.
But there's even like storyboard. Here's a Hanna-Barbera Superman. It looks like. But there's like storyboards, which I mean, these kind of read like comics. These storyboards. These books are so cool, though. Here's some more character designs. Like I said, some of these cartoons never even came to fruition.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah. These paperback books, though, because the hardcovers were like way out of print.
Yeah,
they're only $35 cover price each.
Well, that's cheaper than the Love and Rockets box set.
There you go. And they're put out by IDW. I think they're all in print still because they just recently got reprinted. They are paperback, but they're oversized. It's so much fun. I love these books that like you read a few articles and you get some comics, and then you read a few articles. Like it's such a fun experience to learn some history and read some comics at the same time.
Ryan has the Jason Aaron Star Wars coming. Good for you, because it's awesome. Coming next week. I'm looking forward to it. That leads me. Did I already say Star Wars by Gillen and Pack? I don't think so.
Oh, no, I don't think you said that one.
That's an omnibus I'm looking forward to because I want to get rid of all those trade paperbacks I have. Pack wrote so many Star Wars, but that also finishes off the Star Wars Gillen run. And then I love the Pack Star Wars stuff, but I'd much rather have it in hardcover. Hitman. Oh, you have to want Hitman in omnibus form.
I definitely want that one.
Yeah, Hitman's amazing. Madman Library 6 is here. X-Men 2099. I didn't think I wanted that book, but I saw the cover, an old cover, and there were some new X-Men characters, of course, for $20.99, and they looked really boss. And so I don't know the quality of X-Men $20.99. I know Doom $20.99 is supposed to be awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
I will say, I think Omar and Peter M, who are like the experts I always listen to, but
yes.
I think they say that X-Men 2099 isn't that great. But
oh, thank you for saving me money. Ha! You
and
didn't even need to do it.
If I remember correctly, because I remember reading a few of those issues, they didn't have any ties at all to like 616 X-Men, which I feel like is a mistake. I feel like you should have at least had a few characters that, I mean, I know it's like way in the future, but like maybe some children of the characters you're familiar with or something like that. But I don't think there's any of that. I think it's all brand new stuff.
Oh,
see, I saved you money. So use the money you're going to spend on that omnibus and buy the Alex Toth books.
James, we actually have that. I'm thinking about putting a cat security camera down here at the sliding glass door so I know when she's here. We have that at the front door. Michael is saying Slot and I are daydreaming our next project, and my immediate future is all about Mark Russell and Batman, but very much want to line up these dream projects. Oofa. Big love for Wolverine dupe I did with Jason.
Oh, yes. Is Mike going to get the dupe stuffed animal?
Mike want to do more Star Wars too. Mostly have just done covers and cards. Mike, are you familiar with the dupe limited edition? Okay, you tell him what it is.
It's a 8-inch dupe from Bleacher Creatures, and it's coming out on Free Comic Book Day. And it's like a stuffed animal, like the Bleacher Creatures. I don't know if you're familiar with those, Mike, but it's coming out on Free Comic Book Day. It's $19.99, but it's limited to 1,500 copies. I guess I don't know if you'd call it copies, but
yeah. So I'm gonna try and find you that. Mike did 2 Batman 66 issues with his big brother Lee. The last issue and a crossover with Legion of Superheroes. Did a cover for every issue, crossovers and all.
That's right, the Legion of Superheroes. So that's what we need too, though. There is enough material for a volume 2 of that Batman 66 omnibus with all the crossovers. Like all the crossovers I did would fill in a whole.
Oh, you mean like with Green Hornet and everything?
With Green Hornet, with Wonder Woman 77,
with Archie. I think there was one with Archie, with Steed and Peel, the Avengers.
Steed and Peel. Was there a Star Trek one?
I don't remember that. They're in the other room. I mean, I could unhook and go look.
There's like 6 or 7 like hardcovers they came out with, like standard set hardcovers. That would fill in omnibus. That's one
where they meet
too.
Other characters. Okay, I see that. Yeah. Slot's Who love has rubbed off on me.
Oh. So maybe that means that Dan Slott was like, all right, when they started doing the series, before they, like, when they're pitching it to each other, it's like, have you seen Doctor Who? And Mike was like, I don't know. And then maybe that's how it started. I know Dan Slott's a huge Doctor Who fan.
I remember watching Batman TV show as a kid. Good times. Clapman Bassick 66. I watched Batman 66 reruns back in the day, along with reruns on Nick and Night, The Adventures of Superman. Oh, with George Reeve.
Yeah, the first time I watched Batman, the Adam West Batman, was on TV Land when I was a young teenager. And that's what got me hooked on it.
Oh yeah, Super Friends. I remember Super Friends. Yeah.
Super Friends was a big thing for me too as a kid.
Oh no, Grant Morrison Omnibus paid double. You're just saying you're going to wait in the future and not ever do that again. I have those Toth books, Jess. Worth it. Josh, you just want me to spend my money. Yes, thank you.
Did you get your Animal Man action figure?
I did. And I've been waiting for a Jester's Toy Box to break it out, but it did come in. It's really cool looking.
That's another run of comics I'd love figures for, is the Morrison Doom Patrol.
Oh, that would be great to get action figures of that.
Because there are not a lot of Doom Patrol figures, period. There's a few out there, but
Yeah, I feel like you'd have to go back to like the Kenner or Mattel days to
Yeah.
even find
Like I
them.
want a Robot Man with the leather jacket, like on the like wearing a cool T-shirt, like on the Grant Morrison era.
Yeah. Oh, Josh has the hardcovers of those totes. He's a humble bragger.
Yeah, I'm jealous of those.
We need Taylor each week. When I work with Michael's still in the chat. Thank you, buddy. Whenever I work with my brilliant brother Lee, it's like we're 8 years old again in the very best way. I would work play on anything with him. That's great.
That's amazing. I could just
That is amazing.
Like when your kids playing with action figures and now you're making comics.
Yeah. And I did order my copy of Bug last night live on the air.
Oh, have you not read that?
I didn't. I don't think I was even aware of it until Mike told me about it. And I went to the Bezos site and found a used copy that I ordered like that.
So much fun. That's Mike again working with a Kirby property.
Yeah, with his brother. Yeah. Quest was primetime. I thought so. I thought so. I remember as a little kid seeing it in and the Flintstones, and I think the Jetsons was also primetime.
I know Flintstones was because that was originally came out as like a sitcom, right? Like it's supposed to be like a sitcom for grown-ups almost.
Yeah, it was
when
a
it first
riff
came out
on the Honeymooners. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, those Toth books are miraculous, worth any price.
Okay, so if I didn't sell you on it, Mike Allred has to have at least sold you on it.
I love the few Alex Toth Torpedo 1936 stories he did.
We need more Toth books, period. Like we need, like I think it was Josh that said the DC Toth book. We like a collection of all of his DC stuff would be amazing.
Oh yeah, I would be up for that. Okay, now finally we've sold James on something.
Yes. I don't think I've ever sold James on anything before.
Let's see. Omnidog. Trouble equals. Okay, wait. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to put any hate out there, so I'm just gonna wait. Let me read this. I already showed it. Let me see. Dirty Dancing by Way of Spider-Man lore piss take. I haven't read it myself, but as Taylor noted, one of the most infamous and reviled. Okay, thanks. I appreciate that. Next, Jess. Yes, that's called The Daring Adventures of Supergirl. It came out in 2 thick trades. I knew you would know that.
Who was the writer though? I couldn't figure that out.
Oh yeah, I'd have to go into the other room. So
don't worry. Kenny's gonna tell us in the chat.
Okay. Give me Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, 3PO, and R2 to jump off from, but happy to play anywhere with anyone in that galaxy.
I would definitely read that.
I love that Allred is also behind in the chat too, but he's also apparently drawing probably while listening to the show.
Or making a diorama or his next cosplay costume that he's making.
He's up for dupe. Hey, Jess, like music vinyl, you talking about cover of Silver Surfer? Yes. There are also collections of Alex Toth's Zorro comics and Bravo adventures.
Yeah, Bravo has a collection of the comics, and I think there's also an artist edition of it.
Speaking of artist edition,
yes.
The last book that I want was just recently announced by, I'm sure this is a friend of Mike's because he knows everybody, and I bet Scott Dunbar lives next door to him or something in Oregon because everybody lives in Oregon. But Scott Dunbar, on very fine condition, announced the Neil Adams Classic Artist Edition. That's already up on Comic Releases, where I got all these things. And please go to comicreleases.com. It's a great site. But
great resource.
He somebody in my Discord, I think somebody sent me a clip of Scott Dunbar specifically talking about the Neil Adams stuff. It's going to be like 25 stories, including Ra's al Ghul, the first Denny O'Neil, Neil Adams Batman one, and then he listed off all these comics and their numbers, like Detective 252 and
the covers of them
and Action comics with the Kryptonite Nevermore, and it's going to be an oversized artist edition. It's called Neil Adams Classic Artist Edition. Now there's 2 versions of the artist edition. I don't generally collect artist editions, so I don't know what the difference is going to be. Does Scott work for IDW or Dark Horse, or who does
he works for IDW? I know, I collect artist editions.
Okay. So
he works for IDW.
okay.
So all of his projects go through IDW. The different versions, though, I don't. Cause I watched that interview. I don't know if you.
There we go. Neil Adams Love.
There's gonna be the first Neil Adams one is, I think it's, I forget what he called them. There's gonna be 2 volumes though. I think one of them is gonna be Neil Adams that he's talking about, the one that you heard about. It's gonna have all that stuff. I think 2 covers of Green Lantern is in there too, which I know will be of special interest to you.
Ooh.
Like he specifically mentioned the one that my sidekick's a junkie.
That's 85. Yeah.
Yes, that original cover will be in there.
And he said 76, I think.
Yeah, but it's gonna be like 240 pages, which is a thick artist edition. Usually they're like 150 to like 170 pages.
Okay.
It's gonna be a thicker one. But yeah, I think he says that enough material for a second one. But
is there there were 2 listed, but it's too early for. I mean, I clicked on all the links, and I
sometimes they do have variant covers. So I wonder if one of them's a variant cover of, because the second volume hasn't they haven't even started working on it yet.
Is there like a regular version artist edition and then like a deluxe with a slipcase or something?
No, there's so they do artist edition. If it says artist edition, it's going to be the same, which I have one right here actually. I have John Byrne's X-Men.
Okay. Ooh, yeah.
Which I have a overview of this on my channel, James Abel, if you're got a link for me. But so this is like the normal artist edition. They're the size that the artist works on with the paper. So if an artist works on 11 by 17, which is like the standard, it'll be like this size.
Okay.
They have artist sin editions.
Oh, artist sin, that's right. And then are those even bigger?
No, those are paperbacks. They're more affordable.
I want that. Here. I want the expensive one.
Well, those come out later. They'll do the first print run of the hardcovers, and then a few years later they'll do like an artisan edition, which are still oversized.
Okay.
But they're not that big. So they're smaller in trim size, and the paperbacks are like $40 usually.
Okay. So you know how much I've been wanting that unretouched brilliant Batman stuff. Yeah. So that's why I want that silver / well, it was the beginning of the Bronze Age when Ra's al Ghul was introduced. So I'm gonna want
the artist.
I want all of that in its original glory. But until that happens, I will happily accept this Neil Adams Classic Artist Edition.
Which the artist editions are beautiful. Like, have you seen one in person?
I think I have one for Kirby Galactus era something. I mean,
there was a Kirby Fantastic Four one.
Okay, hang on. Let me go look. I'll
be
right back. You can talk about anything you want.
Well, I can probably not show that off. Let me see. I want Jess to see that, so I don't want to show that off here just yet. Trying to see here. What should I show off, guys? Oh, here's another artist edition I have. Oh, my cat's back in the background. Which one is this? Oh, this is Oreo.
Hey, no, I don't own any artist editions. I thought I did, but I don't.
I have the Frank Miller Daredevil one also.
Ooh.
Which is cool. So some of the artist editions too, they used to have a distinction too. They'd call them artifact editions or artist editions. And the only difference was that the artifact editions didn't have complete stories in them. But the artist editions would.
Okay.
They've changed that though. There's no more artifact editions. the John Byrne one and the Frank Miller Daredevil one, they were printed originally as artifact editions because they don't have complete stories. They've now reprinted them as artist editions. So I will mention that. So now just all of them are artist editions. But like, you like the Rocketeer?
Oh, frick yes.
They have an artist edition of the Rocketeer, and it has every single page in it.
Why don't I own that?
So it's in print still. I think it's like $90 on IST or something.
Okay.
But it has, so you can read on full 11x17 paper the full story as if Dave Stevens, rest in peace. Dave Stevens is amazing.
Yeah.
But as if he handed you all his original art for the entire story and just like let you flip through it and read it, is what it's
wow.
like. Every single page. Absolutely brilliant. The new version, the slipcase, which is the only way it's been collected, I think, has like new coloring in it, which is not bad. It's not like terribly garish, but it is like more modernized coloring than what he originally printed the stories as. So it's nice to have the artist edition to read it as the original pages. So some of the artist editions do have like complete stories in them, which Scott, I think Omar pronounced his name as Dune Beer.
Dune Beer, not Dunbuyer.
Yeah,
Dune Beer.
Yeah, and whenever Omar, I know he pronounces people's names wrong all the time.
Yeah,
but when he interviews people, though, I think he usually clears that before the interview starts. So I just want to go on a limb and guess that Omar was pronouncing his name right. But
Dune Beer. Okay.
But I think Scott Doombeer mentioned that there will be like, you said 20. I think there's like 11. There's gonna be a lot of complete stories of Neil Adams in that book.
Okay.
Which is really fun to read. Those are my favorite artist editions of reading a complete story in that format. Mike, if he's still in the chat, we don't have any Mike Allred artist editions.
Crazy Ice Storm here. I'll hang in as long as the power stays on. Collection shopping list starts here.
Yes.
Nice.
But Mike, are we ever going to get a artist edition of your material? I would love to have a Mike Allred artist edition.
That's very interesting. Toth's Bravo Artist Edition is a master class in comics. Otaku Magnet says, "Oh, look at your dog. Oh, hey, baby. I would like to see Bart Sears release more Brute and Babe comics. The story was excellent." I'm not familiar with that, but half the stuff that's been brought up tonight, I'm not familiar with. And it's all come from my guest who's costing me money, like my guest yesterday.
Can I cost you some more money?
No.
I have some comics lined up, but I want to pitch this one to you because I think it'll be up your alley. So I mentioned Jay Stevens earlier. This is like his new series he's been working on called Dwellings. And it looks like a Harvey comic, right?
Yeah. Cycle, did you send me this? This looks familiar. Oh my God, this is so cool.
He made these ads. Like these are fake ads that he made to look like the old comics.
Did you show me this before? Because this looks familiar.
I might have. I try to, this is one of those comics that I love so much. I try to show it off whenever I can.
Yeah.
So I might have. Like even the inside page has all these fake ads in it.
Oh, and he did all those himself.
Yeah. And it's done on like this, it looks like this yellow newsprint paper even. So it's done to mimic Harvey comics, but it's definitely for grown-ups. Like it's definitely a grown-up horror comics.
Oh.
But made to look like classic Harvey comics. So it's like this cutesy. But I will say I have the there's a trade paperback coming out.
Ah.
If you let me share my screen here, I can pull it up for you.
Will it have all the fun ads and stuff in it?
I don't know that. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, I guess it's gonna be a hardcover. Here, let me
Oh, Josh is the one that sent me the clip of the Scott Dune Beer talking about link for dupe plushie. It's going to be a free comic book day plushie that's limited to 1,500. I don't think we have a link for the preview of it, right?
Right. There's no ordering system. You have to order it through a comic book shop owner. But Mike, I'm hoping somebody will send you one or give you an easy way to get one because you are Mike Allred yourself. But
yeah, I'm gonna have to contact Steve from Third Eye Comics to get me one that I can get for you. if they're so limited, I doubt I could get 2. So I'm sacrificing for you.
Well, I will. If Mike Allred doesn't get one himself, I will sacrifice mine for him if you can get it to him. But so
okay,
you can have priority over me, but then I want her too.
okay. YP's here. Good buddy YP. Oh, with that mopey avatar. How dare you, YP? Here's the where you can see what it looks like, Mike. But it's not. When is Free Comic Book Day? Do we know?
It's in May. Oh, it's May the 4th this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's May the 4th.
Oh, there's going to be. Oh no, there's going to be I swear to God, there's going to be 10,000 people, and I'm not exaggerating, at Third Eye Comics, and they're going to make me show up in person. Oh, they better not. I'm going to put in my order. I'm going to send an email to him as soon as we get off. Taylor Talks Comics. There's your X-Men Artist Edition.
Thank you, James.
Larry has a good question. Can someone tell me how many non-Opeña art fill-in issues re the Fear Agent series, that kind of thing? I happen to have those reprints right here because they're going to be a giveaway on the next giveaway show. You guys would not believe how many books I have to give away. It's unbelievable. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, so
I think there's quite a few actually, Larry, though.
Yeah, but they're not. I don't think you should be afraid of them, Larry, because the story is strong throughout, and the art. Well, this isn't Jerome Opeña right here.
Yeah, because I think it's like almost half and half of Opeña, and I forget the other artist's name.
Tony Moore. Tony Moore's great. Yeah. First
Tony
of all,
Moore.
Okay, so Tony Moore and Jerome Opeña trade off in this, and
I don't know if exactly half and half, but I feel like that's about half and half of the issues I do.
I did an overview of this, James. If you could pull it up for me. Now the second volume has, I think, less Jerome Opeña. Let's see if there's a table of contents. Volume 2. Okay. So, Hatchet Job, script chapter 1 through 3, chapters 1 through 3, Jerome Opeña, chapters 4 and 5, Kieran Dwyer, Eye Against Eye, which I love because that's a Bad Brains title, pencils by Tony Moore, inks by Tony Moore, 1 through 2, inks, and then inks John Lucas, Out of Step. That is a Minor Threat album. So I love that. Script recommender. Pencils by Mike Hawthorne and Tony Moore. Oh, and then there's Tales of the Fear Agent, which is all stuff not written by Rick Remender. You really need to go to my overview because I cover it in depth.
It looks like Jerome Opeña does about 9 issues.
Yeah, I really think it's worth. The stories are so great and the art's great throughout, even if it's not Jerome Opeña. And God bless Jerome Opeña, I love his art, but these books are solid. The stories are great and the art is great throughout.
It looks like Tony Moore does about 16 issues, if my math is correct.
Okay,
but yeah, it's a great comic. You don't want to let that hold you back.
Yeah. Cycle has the Charles Burns Artist Edition, personal friend of Mike Allred.
Charles Burns is?
Oh, you should hear everybody in his.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I need to watch this.
Oh, you do need to watch this. He has an inner circle of like all the great creators that you love.
Man,
I don't think Charles. I can't remember if he said Charles Burns. Charles Burns was in Oregon with him, but he's definitely a friend, definitely an influencer on Mike's work.
I could definitely see that.
But I don't know if he's in Oregon like Mike is. But I'm not exaggerating. Like 15 famous creators live near Mike in Oregon. It's amazing.
Well, the Pacific Northwest has such a rich history of comics, anyways.
Yeah, and of creators.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now wait, what's your cat's name? Oreo?
Yeah, it's the younger one's called Oreo. My son named her.
Okay, she was just in the background again.
Yeah.
So there's a cat sighting. They're reprinting Wally Wood.
Oh yeah, the artist edition, and they're adding 2 new stories to it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Would love the Rocketeer and Bone.
Yeah, they did a Bone one. I don't have that one.
So happy IDW started to reprint the older artist edition, hoping for Gene Colan Tomb
That would
of
be great.
Dracula. DC is Conroy Jet, welcome. DC is reprinting the giant-size collector edition of the Ra's al Ghul from the 70s, which is where I first saw Neil Adams art as a kid. The giant-size collector edition. I remember those because I have Superman versus Muhammad Ali still. Okay, here's a humble brag from Mike. Humble brag. Dave Stevens let me flip through every page of the Rocketeer in his house. So surreal that happened. The artist edition is the next best thing.
So he did the scenario I played out. Mike actually lived it.
Yeah, in his house. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, you have to see this interview. It was so fun. I mean, it took me 3 hours to come down from it. All whatever the chemicals are. I know dopamine's one, serotonin's another. What's the other one? Cycle. What's the other chemical our brain releases to make us happy?
But you had 3 hours of it just injected into your brain.
Yeah, and it was releasing constantly. Oxytocin or something, maybe?
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Cycle's practically a doctor. He knows. As Chief Omar name pronunciation criticizer, I believe he is right about, say it again?
Dune beer.
Dune beer. Okay. He's pumped about the artist edition reprint of Wally Wood.
Me too.
Taylor, those new colors are by Laura Martin. She is also one of the best in the business and hand-picked by Dave Stevens. She's also name dropper, pal of mine.
No, Laura Martin, she's a great colorist. She did the coloring on Planetary. I know that. Great colorist for sure. It's just the Rocketeer, they originally printed on newsprint and with a different colorist, and like I think it's just like the first time you see Rocketeer on that newsprint is like what you kind of want to see in the later edition. I know that was Dave Stevens' wish because I think in the introduction of that slipcase version, I think it's Thomas Jane does the introduction. And he says he's a friend of Dave Stevens, and Dave Stevens always wanted to see it collected in this hardcover slipcase.
Wait, Thomas Jane, the Punisher guy?
Yes. I didn't realize he was a huge comic book fan until I read the introduction, and I was like, that can't be the same one, right?
Yeah.
Same guy. And I guess he was a friends with Dave Stevens. But yeah, Dave Stevens always wanted it to be collected, and when he wanted it to be collected, he wanted it to be recolored by Laura Martin. So it was what the artist wanted, and you got to honor that.
Okay.
It's just a personal nostalgia that I wanted it on the old newsprint with the old.
So
coloring.
This honors his wishes. Is this still in print?
The slipcases that just got reprinted last December, I think.
So last month.
I want to say or maybe sorry, I think it's got reprinted recently, and it's definitely in print.
Boy,
and the artist edition is in print too, because I just bought the artist edition a few months ago.
Dave Stevens and I shared a love of Betty Page. That is who I grew up with. Whenever my dad was out doing business, I would go into his file cabinet and find his little Betty Page pamphlets that he had from the 50s, which is probably oversharing. It's okay. But that's where I developed my love for Betty Page. Michael, I don't know what I've done that would make for a good artist edition. Don't you have a whole body of work of Madman?
Yeah, you have like 3,000 pages of Madman. You've done like 3,000 pages for Marvel and DC.
Yeah. Jay Stevens rocks.
Oh,
Is Dwellings getting a collection?
yeah, I have it. If you have to allow me to share my screen, it's pulled up though.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I didn't send Dwellings. I think that it is from Taylor that we were talking about. Okay. Dwellings hardcover.
Okay, so this one's coming out in. Wait, hold on.
I don't even know how to read the. Oh, okay, good.
There we go.
How do you read these?
What do you mean?
Oh, April.
Yeah, so April 10th of 2024 is a hardcover.
They can't leave out those ads that he did. I mean,
I'd be shocked if Jay Stevens, all the work he put into the ads and the whole package, I can't imagine him leaving it out.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. I will definitely. I'm 100% gonna get this.
I mean, I'm gonna get the hardcover too, anyways, just because I don't mind getting the single issues for a creator that I love that much, and then also getting the collected edition. But I got all these were all crowdfunded from. It wasn't Kickstarter. It was some other weird crowdfunding. I forget. But Black Eye Comics, they're based out of Canada, and they did all the crowdfunding for it. But they then, I think, Oni Press then packaged 2 issues per single issue and released those in singles. And now I think they're doing the hardcover.
I feel like Mike should have been the first one to know about the dupe. We'd love to snuggle with a dupe. Okay, so first Saturday in May, that's Free Comic Book Day. Larry hasn't read Fear Agent. It's rift up his alley. I believe you meant to say it's right up his alley. Chris, welcome. Wish I had made it earlier, but now I can watch the rerun through the night. This has been great because Taylor knows so much about comics and so much more about a section of comics that I don't know. And I would legit say those are independent comics that I just don't have the knowledge of. So it's always great to get your input. Right. Tony Moore. Okay, Larry, you love Tony Moore? There it is. Tony Moore is the co-creator of Fear Agent, I believe.
Yeah, because I think that he did the first 4 issues or something like that.
Larry, Fear Agent is 100% a Larry book. And here is my overview that I just put out a couple weeks ago for volumes 1 and 2. Unpopular opinion. The first issue of Walking Dead art by Moore are better than Allred's. I have never read Walking Dead, so is this an unpopular opinion? I don't know.
I'm not the biggest fan of Walking Dead, but I don't know that it's so unpopular. I hear a lot of people say that the first issue by Tony Moore, I don't know, but
did he only do the first issue?
I thought he did the first few issues, but I mean, I'm going to guess Larry probably knows more than I do. I'm not a huge Walking Dead guy.
I saw the first season, and that's all I know. I never read it.
I read the first 8 of those deluxe hardcovers, and then that was enough for me. But it's not bad. It's not a bad comic, and it's a great gateway comic. That's one of those few comics that brought in a whole bunch of people to comics for the first time. So I always advocate for that.
Okay, the TV show brought in people.
Yeah, the TV show brought people into the comics, and the comics brought people into buying different comics beyond just Walking Dead. I met so many comic book fans that are like, yeah, my first comic I ever read was Walking Dead.
Oh, that's cool.
And now they have huge collections. So
I remember when that was I remember the first 3 or 4 seasons were must-see TV because I would always hear about it Monday morning from Howard Stern. They talk about The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And that's how I got into it. I mean, they were way into it. He would get Ralph on and they'd talk about Walking Dead. I think even Robin was watching it. And I don't think Artie was, but it was a bit. Yeah, I remember it was a big deal when that show was on. Taylor only gives away love. Sometimes that's enough. Okay, let's show the love for Taylor.
Thank you.
Was Fear Agent collected into 5 trades or was it more? That I don't.
It was collected most recently from Image Comics. It was 4 trades called Final Edition, which, funny enough, it wasn't the final edition, but they're 4 thick trades by Image. Or no, yeah, Image. Yeah, when he first went back to Image, they're 4 thick trades. Before that, I don't know, but most recently.
Okay, but now you have 3 different covers to choose from for Fear Agent, whereas before you just had one choice and it was out of print for 5 years, 10 years, whatever it was. It was crazy. This is what worries me. I'm excited. Richard's excited for Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow Deluxe Edition. Definitely going to upgrade from my trade paperback. That is a huge candidate for an absolute.
Do you think
I'm worried if I upgrade to the deluxe next year, they're going to talk about an absolute, because that art is brilliant. Besides brilliant story, it's brilliant art.
I have 2 things to say about that. One, how many issues was that first?
I don't know.
Okay. And 2,
I've
been waiting for my Mr. Miracle absolute for however many years it's been since the comic came out.
That's
so much
true.
So that I did the gamble thing with, like I did with Goon, and I sold my trade paperback I had. I don't even own a copy of that story, and I love it so much. I'm just waiting for the absolute to come out.
Oh, I keep you're not going to get the deluxe?
I keep seeing the deluxe on there for like cheap. Like sometimes IST has it on there for so cheap, and I'm like, no, I'm waiting for the absolute. And I can't wait to when I have the absolute to reread that story and fall in love with it all over again. That's part of the gamble is that you get it. It's out of my possession right now, but when I get that absolute, I'm gonna be able to fall in love with it all over again.
Okay, I am not like Taylor. I want things right away. I cannot wait. So I am gonna get
I read it once though, so I have read it.
That was my book of the year when it came out.
It was mine too. So, and I loved it so much, but now like on the reread, that's what I'm waiting for. And it's gonna be great.
Okay, well, I am going to. I think I might as well upgrade to the deluxe edition to make the absolute happen, and maybe I'll just keep all my editions, like crazy people like Jake from the Brave and Boys does, and I will just keep all my editions because I love that book so much. Charles Burns lives in Philly. Okay, good. Cycle says, Mike, I'm a Charles Burns superfan. Do you know Nate Garcia?
I don't know if he does, but I'd be interested to for Mike to read some Nate Garcia comics. He might dig them.
Now Nate Garcia, he's a good sport because Cycle sent the clip of me.
Yeah.
When I was looking through the Nate Garcia book, going, "Oh my goodness, what the heck is all this?" And Nate Garcia puts it up on Instagram all the time. And I said to him, you are really a good sport for this. I'm really looking forward to reading your book. And that's in my stack of Cycle Cleveland stuff.
This is the most recent Nate Garcia, Flippy.
Okie doke. Looks beautiful.
Yeah, he's only 21 years old.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate him.
He's only 21 years old. So Nate sent me his first comics when he's 18, like 3 years ago. He sent them to me and was like, hey, can you show these off on your channel? I'm trying to, get some word around. And these were those comics, Horn Rim. He was 18 years old when he was drawing this.
Who publishes them?
He self-publishes them. He gets them printed and self-publishes. He's totally self-published.
Wow. This
is his sketchbook that he did. But he sent me this and he's like, yeah, I'm 18. I'm just trying to get my comics out there. And I open up the package and I'm like, holy, you're 18? Like, no way. Now these 3 right here are actually out of print and people are selling them on eBay for like $100.
What? Wow.
And poor Nate, he posts on Instagram every time someone sells one and he's like, guys, like, why are you selling this for, or people are buying this for $100? But he's awesome though. He's so young and talented. Like he's ripe for the picking from Fantagraphics whenever they want to snatch him up. He even wrote me this letter too.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, he might be another guy that's camera shy. I feel like Cycle told me he does not do many interviews.
I think he's on the manga chat thing that Cycle's always talking about with Simon Hanselman and Josh Pettinger, who does Goiter.
Manga Chat.
It's called Manga Chat, but it's the Goiter guy, the Megan Mogg guy. Have you read Megan Mogg by Simon Hanselman?
I think Cycle sent me that.
Okay.
I know Simon. He sent me Simon Hanselman stuff.
Okay.
And Nate Garcia stuff and Goiter and a bunch of other stuff. And I am totally gonna do a full read through and review of those sooner rather than later.
Should. I'd love to see that.
I know. Serotonin, yeah, I got that one. Okay. Serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin. Oh, endorphins is the one I was thinking of. I had all 4 of those things flowing through me last night as I got off that interview. It was 9 o'clock my time. I did not get to sleep until about 1:30 because not only did I have adrenaline pumping, but those happiness chemicals were flowing through me. And I said to my wife, I don't feel this way enough. I want to just sit in my chair and feel this way for like 3 hours and just enjoy these chemicals. And that's what I did. Epinephrine, I feel that's like what's in an EpiPen. I think Cycle gets the top 4 here. Endorphins is usually the one I go to. But I think dopamine and oxytocin and serotonin, yeah, I think he's right. Oxytocin is the love hormone. Okay. Got the oversized Neil Adams in the oversized format in the late 70s. Taylor, have you read Irredeemable?
I have. That's the story I told you had the Carrie Strug experience.
Yeah.
Because I read that and the book was falling apart as I was reading. I got the paperback version from who does that? Boom. Yeah. It was like literally falling apart as I was reading. Like the pages were falling out. And it was the first time I ever read it. Brand new book. And but then the ending was so great that I told Jess it was like Carrie Strug because she had a broken ankle and my book was falling apart. And even though it was falling apart, still stuck the landing.
And that's what I said to Mark Wade in the 2017 Baltimore Con when he and I posed for that dollar. Did you ever see that picture?
Yeah, I know that story. It's great.
Yeah. He was such a good guy, and I said that ending was so amazing. You really stuck that ending, and he said, "Yeah, I was really pleased with how that turned out."
It was brilliant.
It's my favorite book. Endorphins, runner's high, right? Everyone oversimplifies things with the brain, and it drives me crazy. Like you only use 10% of your brain is incredibly wrong. Okay, peace and love, man. Nobody said that here. I just wondered what chemicals my brain was releasing. No. Oh, that's the book YP sent me the alert to pre-order this Archer Magic cover for Fall of the House of X, which looks boss. You can it's okay, YP. You can put Mopey there. You're a good friend. It's fine. Epinephrine is adrenaline. Okay. iZombie artist editions.
That'd be cool.
What I do not like with Betty Page is the S&M pictures. Here's my advice. Don't look at them. Epi is the drug that you get when you're getting CPR that is actually vital to bringing you back. Micronauts artist edition. Need a reprint. Sold out immediately. Oh, I didn't even know there was one.
Stuff. Yeah, the Michael Golden stuff.
Oh. Still no FOC for Flash by Messner Loebs or Aquaman by Pat Omnibus. Wait, what? And Aquaman by Pat. But those were on your list. Are you confident they're going to be released this year?
I think. I mean, DC hasn't really done the thing where they post a book and then cancel it or anything. They haven't done that in a while. I'm pretty confident.
But they have. They've shown up in Penguin as going to be printed.
They showed up in the whatever the the PRH catalog or whatever.
Yeah, Penguin Random House.
Yeah, but their contents aren't there, so it's not. There's no final order cutoff yet. I don't think they're in the whatever that catalog needs to be or whatever.
Okay, I think DC is different now.
I agree.
I don't think they're going to cancel this. The fact that Phantom Stranger came out completely changed my view on DC. I think they had like a 2-year lull there, where they didn't put out hardly anything collected edition. But I feel like they're getting back to being reliable, and we're going to be able to count on I think these 2 books are going to come out.
I agree.
Is what they gave. What did they give? They gave Uma Thurman like a big needle or something. What was that they gave her? It wasn't like an EpiPen. It was like a giant needle they stuck in her heart.
Every part of that scene is wrong.
Omnidog and Taylor, great and fun stream. Hope you both have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Peace and love. Excelsior. Thank you, Richard, for joining.
Thank you. He's been on a couple of my live streams, Richard has.
Oh, good. Michael says, my favorite issue of Madman is Swiped from Dimension X, but it's a whole issue of me trying to draw like swiping a different artist in every panel. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I know exactly what story you're talking about. So maybe not for artist edition.
But maybe not an artist edition, but what would be cool is like a page by page of like reference art from other artists you're looking at, maybe.
Oh, that's an interesting
idea. Something like that, like a behind the scenes type deal.
Josh would love that artist edition.
See? Yeah, Mike, you can't be too humble. You have so many great pages, and an artist edition would be wonderful.
Yeah, he is humble. Lots
of
love to you all.
You could do like a DC Mike Allred artist edition, a Marvel Mike Allred artist edition. You could do a Madman. Like, there's so many.
Yeah, like Silver Surfer and iZombie and
there's so many
Statics.
There's so many issues from Silver Surfer I could pick out that'd make for a great artist edition.
Yeah. Reap, love you, buddy. Thank you for being here. Tony Moore did the first 6 issues of Walking Dead. He is now considered the co-creator of that, right? Because I know there was legal issues or something with the TV show where he was wanting the dosh, and I don't really blame him. Walking Dead is what brought me back to reading comics.
I didn't know that cycle. That's awesome.
I didn't either. Larry, I agree with Tony Moore better than Adlad. I don't even know.
Adlad, that's like the advertising superhero from Legion of Superheroes.
Nice. My pals worked on Walking Dead. One was a zombie, then one of the cannibal. Oh, you mean they worked on the TV show? I was like, okay, one was a zombie, then one of the cannibals later.
That's cool.
That is cool. So happy to see my Madman so close to Love and Rockets on your shelves behind you.
Yeah.
Los Bros were essential to inspiring me into the biz, which
that's amazing.
Yeah, he talks about that on the interview that you didn't see.
I'm going to, don't worry. But I could totally see Jaime being an inspiration for you, Mike. Both of them for sure, but definitely Jaime's artwork.
Okay, Mike, if you're still in the chat, I have had trouble getting into Love and Rockets. So do you think
to buy this box set?
Yeah, we're trying to convince me to buy the box set. I can afford it. I'm not sure I'm going to dig it. But I will leave the final verdict up to you if you're still in the chat. Should I buy it or should I not? I already know what the answer is. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, 8 issues.
Okay, that'd be.
Larry has to go. Good night. Remember, Larry and I are hosting Omnidog's book club on the 28th of January, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the book is Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead.
Written by Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, and apparently it's really good, which I love. Just finished James Bond, Agent of Spectre. It seems all previous volumes have been leading up to this. Daniel, oh, look at you and your doggy there. I love that picture. I have not, the Minister of Comics and I are on record. I haven't read the most recent two, and I'm going to, but all the other James Bond books are freaking great. All of them. There's not a loser in the bunch. There's not even one that's pretty good. They're all great. So it seems like you've been reading all of them, which is great. Searching Nate Garcia now. Nifty.
Wow. I can't wait to...
You introduced him to Nate Garcia.
Yes.
Jess, the writer of Daring Adventure Superheroes, Paul Kupperberg. Okay, good.
You were right then. You had it right.
Okay. I thought maybe I was getting close. Nate Garcia is a force of nature. Carol Cash is super young too. Glad that is that the person that does pee pee poo poo?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I will say Nate Garcia is also a musician. I think his band's on tour right now. He's in like a underground like punk band.
Ooh. Do you know the name of his group?
Cycle can tell me. I'll look it up real fast.
Okay. Here is Nate has been off manga chat for like 6 or 8 months or so. Okay. But here's a compliment for you, Taylor. You got me to read JLI, and I actually really licked it. Well, okay, good. You live your life. It was a lot of book, but thank you. That's a big compliment.
That's my favorite compliment. Anytime someone reads something I recommended and likes it,
Isn't that an awesome feeling?
It's the best.
You could share your love for comics, and somebody likes what you likes.
It's truly like just under that is when someone buys something you recommend, but when they come back to you and tell you they loved it, like that's the best.
It is the best feeling. Nate is not exactly big on podcast appearances at the moment, I guess. Well, maybe it's because his band's on tour.
Attack Dog is what it's called.
Attack Dog
is the name of his band. I think he does solo stuff too. I think on his, I don't know if it's Etsy, wherever he sells his comics, he has like a CD out too.
I would like to think everyone we consider to be friends feel the same way, but very well may be one-way streets. Nobody. I think everybody loves you. It's quite clear. Everybody loves you. All your artist friends, all your friends, all your virtual friends. Everybody loves you. We need to do a TV show. Everybody loves Mike. And Laura. Even though I only got to see her for 2 minutes, peace and love. Taylor releases Kirby, Klaus, Hernandez, and Jodorowsky instead of what all Cycle mentioned for happiness.
Yes, that's how my brain works right there. Man, Low Hit knows me. We're good buds, but I'm glad to know that he not only are we friends, but he can name off the people that are right in my brain.
Yeah. We lasted longer than the football game. I don't even know what the final score was.
It was 26-7. Chiefs win.
Oh, they waxed the Dolphins. Wow.
Yeah. I just got a alert from ESPN.
I will say that I don't think that game should have been played. I mean, 30 below wind chill factor.
Well, did you see the Buffalo game got pushed back?
Well, yeah, that's because the government forced their hand.
And,
and the weather too.
Right. I saw today they were paying people $20 an hour to shovel out the stadium, which is awesome. I love snow games, but yeah, then they pushed it back to Monday at 4:30, which is a weird time for a Monday game. But
well, I think there's an 8 o'clock game, so they had to get it in before that.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, AS. I love talking to Taylor. I really do. And I probably won't fall asleep till 3 tonight, but it's okay. I'd explain the Pulp Fiction scene issues, but it would really just get boring and technical. It's obvious once you hear it, but they'd give her Narcan to reverse the opiate effects first and foremost. I have Narcan in my house because of my pain pump. Wait, I thought you weren't going to tell us everything. Now you're telling us everything. She's aspirating, those giving her, so that they should get giving her car instead of CPR, probably. But they didn't really check if her heart was beating or not. I can't remember, but I think she was actually still moving. So you really might just be able to give her Narcan and have her fine in under a minute. Okay, well, that's good to know since I have Narcan. Another complete edition that will not be printed is J.M. DeMatteis, complete 15 issues of Seekers into the Mystery. One of DeMatteis' better series and slightly autobiographical. I think I have that. Published by Vertigo.
Why won't it be reprinted?
Yeah, Lars, what makes you think what are the issues there that make it not reprintable?
I love J.M. DeMatteis.
Yeah. I'm afraid of this. Jez is going to have a 2016 type haul next week. Well, I only have Dupe and Dwellings written down, but I think
the Alex Toth books.
Yeah, the Alex Toth books. Oh, and Love and Rockets is already Love and Rockets is already in my wish list.
I'm trying to see if there's anything else.
Come on, guys, stop giving my autocorrect a hard time, and I promise I won't pretend to be a hormone doctor anymore. Just teasing you, Chris. We know that it was the ultimate compliment. Just teasing. Have you read the Love and Rockets comic, The Death of Speedy? That's usually the most loved storyline from the series.
That's in the earlier parts of the story. So if you get the box set, it's in there.
The box set does look pretty.
It's really cool.
I do have room for it next to my Hate, Neat, and 8-Ball box sets.
I have all those box sets here too.
Of course you do. You know what's going on.
Neat
stuff. Okay, everyone should read Love and Rockets. Start at the beginning. The genre elements pull you in, then you fall in love with the characters and the astoundingly fresh, still, and original storytelling. Son of a bitch.
I couldn't have sold it better myself.
I asked and he gave it to me. Okay, I will be getting the Love and Rockets box set.
Why wasn't that a blurb on the one of their books?
Yeah. I'm not sure Rock versus the Undead will win you over, but I will check in so I can make my case. I hope you like it. Not sure if you will. I'm kind of really excited about it, Chris, because I've heard nothing but good things. And Larry, to like a DC book, that doesn't happen very often. And Larry loves this book, and I don't know if Larry's in my taste. In the Venn diagram of Larry and me, we do have stuff we like together, but it's not that. We like the same kind of music, except he likes that band that I can't stand. He introduced me to Wet Leg, which is amazing. So I will always be grateful for that. But then he likes some other band that I can't stand. Spin Doctors. Blah. God. Please note, Love and Rockets is crazy sexy. Sold. Too grown up for some? No, you got me there. Crazy sexy? Yeah, baby. Here's a good question from YP. What book or story would you guys recommend to supplement New Frontier and Kingdom Come to introduce someone to the DC universe?
New Frontier, I obviously can't name New Frontier, but that is such a great introduction to the DC universe.
That is a brilliant comic.
Darwin Cook, which I'm assuming Mike is also a big fan of Darwin Cook.
They were best friends.
I'm not surprised in the least.
No, you have to see the interview to see all the people that he's best friends with. It's amazing.
Yeah, Michael. Darwin Cook, rest in peace. But
yeah,
such a Great artist.
You know, I'm not even sure that I would recommend Kingdom Come as a first book because I feel like first of all, I bow down to Mark Waid and Alex Ross. Kingdom Come is one of the best things ever. But I feel like you need to have a little bit of DC knowledge before you can enjoy Kingdom Come.
What about I think an easier modern take would be like World's Finest by Mark Waid. Because then you get a little bit of Batman and Superman in there.
And it's super well written.
Yeah, it's just like a nice, easy, like
Mark
fun
Waid and Dan Mora. Yeah.
I don't know that there's like a big.
There's 2 volumes of that out, and they're
yeah.
both really good.
But I don't know if there's like a big overall DC universe like event or something. It would be a good introduction.
Oh no! I would never suggest an event.
Crisis. Yeah.
Crisis. And you want something more modern, so not like Watchmen or Dark Knight Returns or something.
I mean, Batman Year One is, which by the way, there's a Batman Year One artist edition. It's going to collect every page of David Mazzucchelli's Batman Year One.
Oh wow!
Coming out this summer. That's the one I'm waiting for. I cannot wait to get my hands on that because I guess Mazzucchelli like collected everything that he kept everything. So they have like not only just every page, but like like concept art and stuff that he's layouts. It's gonna be great.
I am going to say I think some of these. Okay, I'll tell you exactly what it should be. Superman Birthright. That would be my choice for Superman. And I'm so sorry, but I had to postpone Super Sundays with Jessica tomorrow. I've live streamed myself exhausted. What would be a good Batman? Well, there's Batman Year One. That's still really fun. Oh, I know. Batman Earth One by Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. That would be my Batman choice. I love those Batman books.
But my first choice would be New Frontier. But you already listed that, so
yeah. So come up with something new. Come on, what are you doing?
I'd say Batman Year One. Or World's Finest. I think that either of those would be good choices.
Okay, I agree. Michael, Jess has a bot. This is about the sexy thing. Michael, Jess has a box a pal picks up upon his deathbed. So upper management, his wife Patty, so she won't see it. This is not an issue. He is not kidding. I do have a box. Love and Rockets is definitely rated R to X to triple X. Why didn't you guys just lead off with that? Come on.
Because it's about the characters.
I do have an Omar box. Omar and his actually Patty watches these shows sometimes. Yeah, I do have all the like the Milo Manera stuff and the Strippers from Mars DVDs that a fan sent me that I haven't watched. Anything Milo Manera is in that box. What else is in that box? I can't think. It's all my Milo Manera stuff, but yeah, it says upon my death, call Omar. Omar's supposed to come, take the box away so she can't see it, as I am either dying and or dead.
And then Omar's going to do an unboxing video on his Patreon.
Well, of course, Superman Space Age, yeah, and Batman Dark Age coming in March. That
Superman Space Age, I will say when I read that, felt very similar. I was getting similar vibes to how Darwin Cook paced out and wrote New Frontier. So I feel like that was maybe an inspiration for that series. I'd be curious to know.
I don't know. That's Mark Russell that wrote it, but the artist is the one that brought it to life.
True.
Yeah, we go over Superman Space Age several times in the interview, and I get choked up just looking through it. It really had an impact on me. Dolphins didn't have a chance in that weather. I believe that. Yeah. I felt reverberations throughout the city today that indicated to me the Browns lost, but I don't know what that means. Yeah, the Browns did lose. Oh, YP. Do you not watch my channel? Superman Space Age was my book of the year. What are we talking about here? where are my where are my top 10 books of the year so YP can know? Even Cycle Cleveland likes Superman Space Age. At Omnidogs, and I do insist everybody read it. Yeah.
We need an absolute of that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Love Bunglers and Julio's Day are generally considered the two best Love and Rocket stories. Are those in that volume?
No, they're not. Those are later in the run, but those have both been released as separate graphic novels too.
Okay.
I think in hardcovers too.
Is that going to be in the second box set you convinced me to buy?
I think those might be even later than that because they're on like volume 4 technically of Love and Rockets, and I think those are even later than volume 2. There could be a volume 2 box set. I don't know if they will though, but I'd buy it obviously.
Thanks, Josh. I feel like people come into Love and Rockets from a bunch of different angles. Various storylines hit people better or worse, but then they always fall in love with the whole thing. Okay, F this. I'm like the only person that hasn't read Love and Rock. Well, I've read it and I just haven't been able to get into it. But I know it's because I've picked up an issue that is in the middle of something and I just don't understand it. So if Mike Allred says I need to buy it, if Taylor says I need to buy it, Cycle says I need to buy it, I have learned from my wife to listen and say when I'm wrong. Because I always say I'm wrong to her. But Kentucky is also a hotbed of comic fans. There's a ton of people that live in Kentucky that are comic fans. Oh my God, we cannot go till midnight.
I know. I think
Good night, guys. Going to finish out the night by reading the latest release Gabon book. It's weird goofing around on here and working on a moody scene.
Ooh.
Oh my God, I hate that song so much. Peace and love, but I really hate that song. Now, I also agree with this. Justice is a great tandem book to Kingdom Come and New Frontier and Batman Ego.
Low Hit Notes is DC stuff too, so
good. Let's give this a 5-minute warning because I can't go till midnight. I mean I could, but I don't really.
No, I agree with that. I'm falling asleep over here.
Yeah, we're getting to the end. Did you know this?
Birdland by Gilbert Hernandez is getting reprinted. I did not. Gilbert Hernandez did a book with Peter Bagg.
He did what?
He did a graphic novel with Peter Bagg called Yeah. Did you ever read that?
Yeah.
It's about like it's kind of like the version of like Josie and the Pussycats. It's about like a
cool
girl group that's like a rock band. Peter Bagg writes it, but Gilbert Hernandez does the artwork.
Peace and love, but I am not answering or showing anything about Pocket Full of Kryptonite. No, or Spin Doctors. Okay, I'll show this one because it was Howard Stern that put him on the map. Tales of the Spin Doctors lead singer's escapades in a strip club told by Howard Stern the morning after, a thing of infamy. I do remember that. This is a question for you. A few weeks ago, I recommended you the Guy Davis and Anarcho. Oh. Whoa, wait. I have Baker Street. Anarcho crust punk? What? I've never heard that term, NFL dude. Anarcho crust punk. That's a genre? I have Baker Street.
No, I have not picked that up, but I'm rewriting it down on my list here.
Thank you for reminding me. Anarcho crust punk. I don't ever want to forget that. Anarcho crust punk. What the hell? Anarcho crust punk.
What if the crust part's like a typo?
I know. I was worried about that, but I'm considering it a genre. We're making it a genre right now.
Crust punk.
Crust punk. Anarcho crust punk. Can understand why they like rock, but I will say no more. I don't want to give it away. Interested in what you think. Okay, well, you'll find out from me on Book Club. Omar from Very Fine wants to collect Batman Year 2. Stop it. Long Halloween and Batman Adventures.
Oh, yeah, those are great intro books.
The Gilbert spinoffs are where things get really raunchy. Box was a joke, Patty. LOL, there is no box. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Oh, I love them too, but I just have to keep it hidden. Did you guys get the Telos HC by Mike Waringo?
I did not.
I didn't either. But YP, you fake fan you. No, I'm kidding you, YP. You sent me a beautiful Harley Quinn print that I love. Omnidog, this is where you can find out. And I go into detail about Space Age in when I originally reviewed it, which is how I touched base with Mike Allred in the first place. Yeah, I go into detail about my top 10 books. So go there. Taylor, can you do a video on the Alex Toth books and artist edition?
Absolutely.
That's a good one.
I will do that this week. I don't have his artist edition. I need to get that, the Bravo Adventure. But I do have the 3 books I just showed off. I will do a video this week. Taylor Talks Comics. Subscribe if you haven't already.
Just consider some love and rockets on their way to you. Cycle, you're too good to me. Thank you. Birdland should definitely be in the Omar box. Okay. Never read Love and Rockets before. Jess, I haven't Love and Rockets. Oh, here's True Graphic. What up? Hey, Jess, I decided to dive into the Reckless universe and bought the first Reckless book. I hope it's a good one. Promise you it's a great one, and you are going to want the rest.
Those are my favorite Brubaker Phillips books.
I am starting to feel that way too, and I bow to the altar that criminal rests on, but these Reckless books are like a level above.
I want more. I would read like 40 volume, like 40. Yeah. Like they're so good.
Yeah, and they're all so they all seem so real.
Yeah, they just tap right into that, like that old cheap like dime crime novel books.
Yeah,
paperbacks.
Patty is a saint. You are correct. Yeah, Josh is a big fan of my wife. I appreciate that. Yeah, AS, it sounds like we're going to do the same thing. New 52 is a perfect place to start for any DC character you are interested in. Oh, wait a minute. As much as I love Grant Morrison, and I have Superman Omnibus by Grant Morrison, that's not a Superman book I think I would recommend to someone. However, you are correct about Justice League. That is the best Justice League. New 52. New 52 Justice League Dark. Where are my New 52 books? Come on, yell at me here, guys. Batgirl was a New 52 by Gail Simone. Brilliant.
Flash by Francis Manapul.
For the art. I will say Batman and Robin Eternal, because some people don't like Batman Eternal. I don't like those people, but whatever. Jeff Johns preceded New 52, I think, and then continued through it. Was Gotham Central a New 52 book? I don't think so.
The best Justice League, though, is Justice League International.
That will be our next show, because I will finish it for our next show. I happen to be a fan of Snyder and Soule's Swamp Thing. That's a good New 52 book. Animal Man by Jeff Lemire. That's a good New 52 book. Aquaman by Jeff Johns is a great New 52 book. Actually, they've been doing a good job putting out New 52 books.
I feel like they've covered their bases almost on that era.
Yeah. So I would just say not Superman. What else? What's over there? No, not Deathstroke. Rebirth Deathstroke, but not New 52 Deathstroke. Red Hood and the Outlaws. Oh, that's Rebirth, not New 52. No. When was Wonder Woman by Gail Simone put out? Was that a New 52 book? This was a great book. but I can't remember if it was New 52. What year was the original stuff published? 2010, 2014, 2016. I think it was pre New 52, but I highly recommend this because it's back in print. Oh, Batman by Scott Snyder. Probably the best New 52 book. Anything else?
I don't know.
I collected all of New 52 and read all of it, and I loved some and didn't love others. I wouldn't recommend Future's End as a event. But yeah, Batman by Scott Snyder, definitely. What do you think about that, Doc Elevator? Space Age had me choked up by the third page. Chris, we agree. Never realized Michael Golden did the NAMM. Most Def picking up the artist edition. Taylor, hope you're happy. I'm upgrading my Spy versus Spy.
Ooh.
And yeah, and I found out that Josh told me it has a ton of new stuff in it.
I did an overview if you want to check it out.
Gilbert illustrated Darwin Cookbook from Vertical. That's in the other room. Twilight Children too, but it wasn't quite better than the sum of its parts. Great show. 5:30 in the morning here in Sweden. Time to hit the bed. Thank you for staying up and watching.
Yeah.
Favorite Guy Davis comments, The Marquee. The Marquee is awesome. Might be too late. This is what working on. Not Bang. Sent to Jess. Oh, okay. Did you Facebook it to me? Let's see what Josh is working on. How Wifey managed to escape hearing about Space Age from Jess is actually impressive. LOL. I'm with Jess. Read LNR from the middle. Love and Rockets.
Oh, he read it from the middle.
Wait, what?
He read it from the middle. He read it like a random issue in the middle, and it's
and it didn't land with me. Taylor says you need to read it chronologically. Okay. Here's our buddy next Imaginaut to both of us. A discussion topic that I've been meaning to propose, but would be best left for another episode. Yeah, because I'm going to bed here in a minute. What are the 5 most life-changing artistic engagements, comic, film, music, etc., that you've ever experienced, and to what ends? Comic engagements.
So like comics that changed your life?
Yeah. Can you clarify that one next, Imaginaut? Like, if comic engagements, is it the comic I read, a film that I saw, music that I saw live, or
that like changed your life afterwards? Which I think keeping it to comics would be sufficient, but I could definitely do an episode on that.
Music, I can tell you the first time I saw Cheap Trick, that changed my life. They were better than Kiss when I saw them in 1997. Okay, here's Josh's latest thing. Josh is a good artist.
Yeah, I know. I need to I still need to get a physical copy of his comic, and so I can show it off on my channel. He sent it to me though, Josh, if you're listening still. I know he sent me a PDF. I need to check that out, but yes, that one. That's what I need.
And he's working on the second volume right now. Yeah, I really have to. Grant Morrison Superman is great. Okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, buddy. Oh yeah, Batman and Robin by Tomasi and Gleason, Batman by Snyder, Green Lantern by Venditti. Crust punks were the homeless, smelly crowd who hop trains, slept on public benches, or burned out cars and shoot up in the back of a crowd at a show. They probably survived childhood trauma too. I forget why. Where did?
The Anarcho
Guy Davis. Yeah. Okay. Batwoman by Williams and Blackman. Oh, and by Rucka too. The first Rucka and Williams. Justice League Dark, New 52. Yeah. Where the Body Was is the Omnidog's Vault book of the month. I haven't read it yet. Are you saying that
he's calling it?
Oh, he's calling it. Oh, I Am Vampire, Demon Knights, Frankenstein, Agent of Shade, and there was a fourth one that was really short that was so great. Demon Knights, I Vampire, Demon Knights, I Vampire, Frankenstein, Agent of Shade. I'm blanking on what the other one was. That's a good one, Lars. Oh, is it the Discord book of the month? Oh, okay. Omnidog's Discord. Oh, yeah. Right, Reap. Wonder Woman by Azzarello and Chang. That's brilliant. Warren's right. Earth 2 was also good. I really liked it. Gotham Central is pre-New 52 for sure since the tail end crosses over with Infinite Crisis. Okay. Earth 2 and Demon Knights from New 52, but great, but not in an omnibus yet. Right. New 52. Yep. What shirt is Taylor wearing? What is that shirt underneath there?
Oh, it's just like a Marvel shirt.
It's very colorful.
Yeah. I have my animal hat on though.
Oh, nice.
For the Muppets.
Future's End is more of a Batman Beyond main event since Terry's the main Batman and later Tim in the Run. That's how I read Future's End. Okay. Here's Taylor Talks Comic Spy versus Spy Omnibus overview. Jake's back. What a late night marathon stream. Yes. Bloody hell, Omnidog. I'm just waking up. Joachim looks very different to how I remember. Great to have Taylor on the show and read Love and Rockets. Oh my God. Okay.
This is great. We finally got Jess onto Love and Rockets again.
Chris is emphatic in his telling us goodnight, and I agree.
I know you said we're not going to go to midnight. We got 8 minutes.
Let's all meet here again 20 years from now. Bonded forever.
Yes.
Superman by Peter DePronto is my second favorite Superman omnibus after the death and return of Superman. A great story and was the basis for Superman and Lois. Well, Warren, we're not going to show that. Oh, I know. I need to do the 5 comics. I know. I need to do that. Oh, Laura and I agree. Cheap Trick was the best concert we ever saw. I saw them 7 times. The first time my ticket cost me $7 in 1977 to see Kiss. I wanted to see Kiss. And I did not know who the hell Cheap Trick was. And they blew me away. It was unbelievable. Kiss was fine. I mean, Kiss was Kiss, but Cheap Trick was unreal. Yeah, I don't know what I just showed from Josh. Oh, good. I'm glad that you like Cheap Trick. Oh, of course, Josh. I love it. I think I don't disagree with that. I thought Hawk and Dove was kind of interesting by Liefeld, and I'm not the hugest Liefeld writer lover, but New 52 Hawk and Dove was reasonably decent. Okay, no, I gotta go. You guys, I gotta go. Sounds like a lot of good New 52, so maybe a pretty good place to start for character you're into. Dr. Elevator, I was wrong. You were right. Oh, Voodoo. That was the one I was trying to think of. Josh Williamson. Yeah, Voodoo was the one I was trying to think of. That's really good.
See, I told you Low Hit knows his stuff.
He does. Good morning, Johnny. Taylor, where can we find you? I have your link in the bottom here in my description.
Yes, Taylor Talks Comics, and I'll be going live on Tuesday at noon Eastern on my channel to go over all the comic book news.
Now, will some of that comic book news in the future involve my buying the Love and Rockets set?
That would be major news. and then a follow-up piece of you loving Love and Rockets afterwards.
Social Distortion. Yeah, ooh, that's good. Taylor Talks Comics.
Thank you, James.
There it is. Kane's gonna be feeling better. Good. Kane's my cookie buddy. Last question. Of all artworks within your respective bodies of artistic experience, the sum total of all the art that you've ever experienced or participated in your lifetimes.
Oh, this is what he's talking about, the top five or five pieces of art that changed your life.
Yeah. Okay. Was it 5?
Oh, I thought he said 5.
Okay. Wait, let's go back and make sure, because maybe we can talk about that next time.
Yeah, that'll be like our next episode.
Yeah, sure. Because I already said Cheap Trick. Crust Punks. Poor Crust Punks. Okay. What are the 5 most life-changing artistic engagements? Comic, film, music. Okay, let me take a screen grab of this. Dink, dink, dink. And I will get together with Taylor next time and we will talk about this. There, you heard it. Go to my desktop. Peace and love. Peace and love. Thank you guys for being. Oh my God, it's almost midnight. Well, we did a 4-hour stream, buddy.
Oof.
It's great talking to you. I always love talking to you because you know so much and it's so fun to just talk to you about comics in general. We both love comics. Everybody loves comics. And we're so pleased to be involved in this hobby. You can catch me on Omnibros Monday and Wednesday nights. And then next Saturday, I should be with Omnicat, where we will be starting our reading of Ecstatics.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I don't think I have anything in between that. So I think I'm all set. So peace and love. Peace and love. Thank you for tuning in. We love you all. Mike, thank you for joining the chat. It was great to have you here.
Yes, definitely.
And I will use my Mike, listen to this, because this is by Redcoat Turncoat also. He did the theme for this show, Baturdays in the BatCave, and you know Redcoat Turncoat. This is the full song he did for Baturdays. I think you'll be singing this song. You and Laura will be singing this song probably the rest of the night. It's so catchy. So here we go. Mike, are you listening? Here it is. Taylor, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Baturdays, Baturdays, Baturdays.